Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday, the 24th day of January 2013 transmission. Feinstein had published on her Senate website a month ago or more the bill, and people said there's no way she's actually going to introduce this. They'd introduced copycats of her bill, so technically she hadn't introduced it a few weeks ago, but it was the same bill introduced by others, which they may try to sneak through when people target her bill. But she has now officially today introduced it, had the press conference. We watched it. We're dumping down the full video clip right now so we can play clips later. She just concluded about, I don't know, an hour ago or so. Here's some of the headlines that are up at drudgereport.com. We're also getting some of this news over to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. In fact, can you guys punch up Drudge for me? Oh, fantastic. Let me punch that up then so folks can get that. Or you can punch it up in there. Dems target 150 weapons, seek national registry. So they want to ban 150 handguns, rifles. They admit they're targeting everything. And the purpose is to dry up the supply of these weapons over time. So there you go, outright move to ban them over time, at least an admission. Feinstein got special permission to display guns in D.C., because she's trying to take them from the rest of the country. An NRA boycott kills nation's largest outdoor show that had been going along with the gun grabbing. And that's the way to handle these people. You've got to start boycotting Time Warner because they're not letting gun ads for gun shops run on any of their systems while they put out some of those violent movies out there, like the new movie coming out, Bullet to the Head, with faux tough guy Sylvester Stallone. I shouldn't say faux tough guy. I don't know if he's a tough guy or not. The point is that in the movies, his movies are ridiculous and just totally unrealistic, but that's a side issue. Weapons ban targets handguns and rifles, and that is in her official bill. No. It goes after shotguns that are pump, that hold 4 rounds. I mean, it just goes after everything. In fact, it's worse than the original bill that she put up in on her Senate website. It's worse than the bill she introduced in 1993. It is unprecedented. And remember what happened yesterday. In fact, I'm going to re-pull that article out of yesterday's stack because I didn't get to it properly. Kurt Nemo wrote about it and linked to the Australian newspapers. They've banned everything down to bolt action and single shot. And now they want those bans, saying you have no reason to have these. So first they take the full auto, then they take the semi-auto. Oh, come on, none of us want to take your guns. Just turn in the semi-auto, and we'll leave your other guns alone. And then they ban, of course, those. So that is now happening, saying, hey, you could have a school shooting with a bolt action. Well, yeah, and a meteorite could hit a school, or a 747 could crash in a school, or a school teacher could molest children, as we see more news out today. Does that mean you're going to ban school teachers? We're not all collectively guilty because you've got a bunch of wound-up Prozac heads out there and people with all sorts of neurological disorders from vaccine damage more and more being linked to an upsurge in mental illness. But overall crime is dropping because gun ownership is up. And we did file the statistics from FBI.gov, locally compiled, 49% in the last 20 years in overall violent crime dropping. Gun violence is actually even higher. It was better than I even said. So I was just looking at the basic numbers and dead reckoning them. They're very complex. And 21%, as I dead reckoned, I was accurate, since 2007. So the drop in crime is accelerating. Accelerating. That's violent crime and crime with guns. People robbing your house when you're not there. People busting out your windows, robbing your stereo. People stealing bikes out of your yard. Petty stuff where they don't get their butt shot off. That is increasing dramatically. All right, we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of this quick break. Stay with us. Big transmission. Piers Morgan's gotten sick from the flu shot as well.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
You prepare by purchasing gold, food, and firearms. But if you don't have a home security system, then you're missing a critical weapon in your arsenal for home protection. When you're sleeping or away from home, who's watching out for intruders? Check out Simply Safe. It's a new do-it-yourself home security system that is completely wireless. Go to GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is independent and off the grid. It runs on battery power, so even if the grid goes down, you're protected. It's completely customizable, so you can use it in your home, business, boat, trailer, storage unit, or shed. GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is also ridiculously easy to install yourself in under 20 minutes. So there's no need to let a stranger into your home. If you move or need to relocate, you can take the system with you wherever you go. You aren't always at home, but Simply Safe will stand guard, protecting your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, that's GetSimplySafe.com.
Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
Well, the Republican establishment is starting to wake up and realize what is happening in this society. In fact, Rush Limbaugh has come out and pointed out that Obama is trying to cause culture wars, financial wars, and race wars. And that's exactly what Obama is trying to do. And if constitutionalists, if libertarians, if liberals, if conservatives, if whatever you call yourself, if you want to have a free and open and happy, successful society, then you desperately need to understand we have diabolical people in control of our country. And not coming at it from the understanding that these are larcenous individuals that want to bankrupt the nation and domesticate the population, collectivize the population, and then say that anyone, I mean, I have a Daily Beast article here, Peers Pressure is what it's called, where they admit, yeah, we're going under global government, we're going under globalism, and it's good to put it in our face that the communist Chinese are telling us what to do, and it's good that our debt is owned by foreigners, and it's good that Piers Morgan's a foreigner, and let Alex Jones try to fight us, we're going to deal with him. And I read the quotes yesterday. And they went on to say, it's not just going to be the blacks and browns against the whites. It's not just going to be the women against the whites. it's going to be the government, and it's going to be foreign governments helping us. And it's like the weathermen wrote it or something. You know, those weathermen testimonies that came out. We've played the video clips here that came out in the trials about how they would use foreign governments to come in and use ethnic uprisings to bring in a communist state in America. And even I have trouble believing they're actually trying this. And again, the public is so dumbed down out there generally, politically correct whites, you name it, that even when they're on MSNBC saying we've got to deal with white people, and even when we see moves out there by people like Rangel saying we've got to overcome the Constitution. That's a quote. We've got the video. You've seen it. Posted it on Infowars.com 2 days ago. We've got to overcome the Constitution. We've got to overcome Southerners. Now, again, that's more divide and conquer. Play the North off against the South. They're trying to re-upload the 1860s, and Obama is to be Abraham Lincoln. And that's why they say, you don't like socialist health care, you're a racist. That's why they come out and say, you won't turn your guns in, you're a racist. You go, what does that have to do with race? They go, shut up, racist. And again, there are black people all over this country that have guns to protect themselves. There are people in California. There are people in Michigan. There are people in Florida. People are people. And gun crimes using guns has gone way down. It's the FBI's numbers. Overall violent crime the last 20 years, 49%. We showed you those numbers yesterday from FBI.gov and have a video posted at Infowars.com for radio listeners. You can go watch it right now. They are desperate to cover all this up and just get us all fighting with each other. Women against the men, Hispanics against whites, whites against Hispanics, black against white, white against black, Protestant against Catholic. While these mega banks, these globalists, these collectivizers are busy bankrupting the country and sucking us dry. And it is outrageous to every day see Fox Sports, CNN, MSNBC. I saw headlines yesterday. Gun owners are the new Nazis. Gun owners are Hitler. We defeated Hitler. Last week, CBS News, Bob Schaefer. We can defeat gun owners. It is now 100% clear that my analysis over the last decade is spot on. And the whole Homeland Security grid is designed and set up for the American people. The whole thing is set up and designed and timed to unfurl this economic collapse, to domesticate as many people as they can and get you dependent and tell you it's good to be dependent and ship your jobs overseas and put taxes on American businesses so they can't operate unless they're select insiders. And then as the crime rate increases, it's been going down, but they know during a collapse it'll start going back up. They're going to demonize and are already demonizing people that maintain law and order in their areas with firearms. And it's so crazy. I have an article here. I actually bought this 2 weeks ago for my son. He hasn't put it together yet. The Star Wars Jabba the Hutt Palace Lego set. And the Austrian government is looking at banning the toy set. And the Turkish Association there is calling for it, calling for apologies from Lego and I guess George Lucas on top of it, saying Jabba the Hutt is supposed to be an Arab, and because the desert building has a dome, that it's bashing Arabs, when actually that mosque is a Christian church. It doesn't even look much like it. This is the type of crazy political correctness. We had a video the other day that Mike Adams did about we don't want kings. We got rid of King George III. And I saw comments by black people who were serious, as I went to their YouTube channels and looked, saying, why are you bashing Dr. Martin Luther King on Dr. Martin Luther King Day on Monday by saying we don't want any more kings, we got rid of King George? Thinking the word king was a code word for Martin Luther King, when actually Mike Adams talked about how Martin Luther King wouldn't support Obama and his torture and wars, and Martin Luther King went out to get a gun permit to protect himself. That's on record. We actually had pro-Martin Luther King stuff on the show that day. But see, it's like a mental illness where you're going to be put off guard and off balance. Oh, you said you didn't like King George. Perhaps code word for Martin Luther King? And then there was a whole debate in that video on YouTube from the radio show of them debating whether Mike Adams was a bad guy or not. And that type of mental illness really hurts me because I want those people to be free. I mean, black communities are being targeted by eugenics, by the drugs being shipped in, by their leaders trying to collectivize them, by all these things. And you can't get through because it's all racism pumped in by the media and their leaders and others to create division in the name of unity. And then they tag on the agenda, support gun control, support socialism, support corporate fascism, support police state, support control, or you're a racist. And you're like, explain to me how not turning my guns in is racist. And they go, shut up, racist. And the media just says it. And then everywhere. We went out and interviewed people at UT, and they said, I said, did you find them? They said, no. Every woman we talked to, because they show a couple of them, that piece we heard yesterday, says, the South is racist and bad, turn your guns in. And these are white women. And they said it with pleasure. They go, the South is bad, which is code word for white people. And you just don't need guns, and that time is now. I mean, totally disconnected from reality. Going to the University of Texas, guaranteed, got middle-class parents that buy into all this. No idea what's happening worldwide. No idea about the New World Order. Everywhere I go, I'm scum because I'm a Texan. Piers Morgan wrote an article saying Texans are animals and how I have the giant paw of a gorilla, and how I'm like a gorilla that is at the zoo at feeding time, and Texans are dumb gorillas and all this. Texans are dumb gorillas. Southerners are trash. White people are all racist. Gun owners are racist. Gun owners are Nazis. Meanwhile, Planned Parenthood's main job was founded to, quote, kill black people, to kill black weeds. And I'm like, hey, I don't want you to abort your kids. I want to try to have them free and strong. Shut up, racist. You're like, I understand it's fun to say that. You're just trying to prove you're not a racist. We know you're a racist. It's a total mental illness. And it is cultural programming. And the Democrats up there, the old white people, they're the buddies of the, quote, minorities, and they're going to get rid of the borders for you, and they're going to get you free welfare, and they're going to take those guns, and they're going to get whitey for you. I mean, it is nothing but them playing us off like two different Indian tribes, two different Native American tribes. Early on, the natives outnumbered settlers at some points 100,000 to 1, when there's like 15 settlers and, estimated, however many natives on the continent. But during some of the biggest Indian wars, 10 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1. But it wasn't even the superiority of arms, because there were the French and others constantly always selling armaments to the natives who were very proficient with them very quickly. It was that the natives were always fighting with each other. And well, they live across that river. They all looked the same, acted the same, had basically the same culture. But it didn't matter because the British intelligence and others could come in and manipulate them off against each other. And the French tried it. It's called the Great Game. Who can do it the best? The Spanish tried it. They weren't as good. The British were the best at it, so they took over the world. That's why global imperial measurement, imperial language is English. The global imperial language is English. That's the global language. It's called imperial in establishment textbooks. I speak imperial. Most of you speak imperial. And the point is, they don't want other people coming in from Mexico to ever speak imperial, because they don't even want you to be able to communicate in the culture. They want you under their control. So we come down to this point now, ladies and gentlemen, where the Democrats have introduced a bill worse than what she posted on her Senate website, worse than copies of her other bill that she had before that other Democrats introduced, hoping that we miss those and they pass as riders on larger bills, that bans all semi-automatic handguns, most pump shotguns. It's worse than what her other bill said. Dems set sights on 150 weapons, seek national registry, open press conference with prayer. Purpose is to dry up the supply of these weapons over time. Feinstein got special permission to display guns in D.C. NRA boycott, kills nation's largest outdoor show. Now, remember, they're talking about banning a Lego toy because the Arabs say Jabba the Hutt's supposed to be them. I mean, that's like saying ban a tree because you're saying Arabs look like it. I mean, it's just...
HempUSA.org has a newly designed website and a new and improved detoxification product. Order our new microplant powder gold loaded with vitamins, minerals, iodine, and probiotics, and we'll send you our travel-size microplant powder absolutely free. Microplant powder only at HempUSA.org. Call 908-691-2608. That's 908-691-2608. And see what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you only at HempUSA.org. Only this offer ends January 31st.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Is 2013 your year to achieve more? More vitality, more health, more well-being? Hi, this is Pastor Jenny. For 25 years, I spent my life's work teaching others how to achieve more. But in 2010, I got a lesson of my own about RNA drops. I learned that there are millions of gene switches latent in every single cell of my body that are waiting for an activator. I learned by taking RNA drops, I could begin to activate that power in my cells and achieve the more that I desire. I'd like to share what I discovered with you and send you a free 30-day supply of RNA drops valued at $50 for just the cost of shipping and handling. Go to RNAfreesample.com. That's RNAfreesample.com. Or call me toll free at 888-577-3703. That's 888-577-3703. RNAfreesample.com. Discover the more that's waiting for you.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
Is this the year you finally get serious about your family's drinking water? If so, keep listening for a special offer from Big Berkey Water Filters. Did you know that over 60% of municipal water is fluoridated? Berkey Water Filters distinguish themselves from many other filtration systems with the capability to significantly reduce dangerous chlorine, fluoride, arsenic, and disinfection byproducts from municipal water via the Black Berkey and PF line of filters. Then there's affordability. At only 1.7 cents per gallon, Berkey Water Filters purify treated and untreated water, even stagnant pond water. Stop and think how much money you could save by simply reducing buying bottled water and using water filtered by your Berkey water filter. No need to be constantly replacing expensive filters with a Berkey. A single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. Choose the best size Berkey for your needs at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And right now, all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Just call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Or visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Free shipping on every order over $50. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
You know, the British government and others are warning that what should be listed as one of the biggest apocalyptic threats is not terrorists blowing up a bus and killing 10 people, which turned out to be staged to begin with, but antibiotic-resistant bacteria. And there's a London Guardian report on that I'm going to be getting to a little bit later. But what needs to be realized here is that over 100,000, some numbers are as high as 200,000 people die from infections that were preventable in hospitals. Are you seeing a bunch of, 5-year-old Billy died riddled with sores as the bacteria ate the flesh off his body and he went into a coma over 2 weeks and died? Tom Daschle or somebody like Joe Biden, former and current politicians running around crying, they decide when to punch the buttons. They decide. And now we've got a press conference being opened by the Democrats saying, I believe the gun lobby is no match for the cross lobby. And we're getting the full press conference. It is unbelievably disgusting. And in there, they have forced buyback provisions. She lies and says, we're not going to take guns from anybody. They always register. You have to come in and get them registered. They always confiscate. It's been done in Europe. It's been done in Australia. Australia is down to bolt action and single shot, and it is in their official newspapers. You can just type in Australia set to ban bolt action, and you will pull up the mainstream articles. We covered it yesterday. So it's always the same pattern. England did the same deal. And then they say, okay, you can keep the bolt action. It's got to be checked in at a local shooting club with police there, paid off duty when you shoot. And then they just ban the hunting clubs. Now they're banning those clubs. So this is how they totally eradicate them. And several countries in South America are doing this where they're banning hunting and guns. So they want it all gone. They try to make it about hunting, which it isn't, but they understand that's part of the culture, so they want to kill that too. In fact, oh, you think you're going to hunt foxes that are breeding like rats? That's why they have fox hunting. With your beagles and your other foxhounds, you think you're going to ride out in the country and have your dogs, hunt like they're supposed to? So the foxes don't, kill your cat. Paul Watson lives outside London. There are foxes running around. He sent me photos of them. I've retweeted them at Real Alex Jones, just like roaches. And they're vicious. Foxes have come in and killed babies and things. They're in the dog family, but about 5 times more vicious per pound. Can't hunt them. So they're like roaches now all over the UK. Beautiful animals, but they are like roaches. See, all the ancients knew what to hunt. You didn't hunt big, beautiful animals. You hunted things that would get out of control if you didn't hunt them. Like take here in Austin, we have white-tailed deer getting run over everywhere, eating in the yard, starving to death. I can barely drive home during the day or at night. Just deer everywhere. I see them hit everywhere I go. But you're not allowed to hunt them inside the city. And sometimes they'll pay people like $3,000, $4,000 a piece to cage them and then fly them to West Texas. And then they get out in West Texas with wolves and mountain lions, half starved. They're domesticated. They get killed in hours. Thousands of dollars to fly mountain lions free meals in helicopters. Because you don't want them to die in the long truck ride, so you fly them in a helicopter. Half the time they die of having a heart attack. I'm not kidding. They've had cases of up to $5,000 these yuppies will pay to have deer trapped in their yards, put in big cages. They go in to get food. And then I'm already ranting. I haven't even gotten to it yet. Let's play a clip of Feinstein saying we want to dry up the supply of the, quote, assault weapons, which is now your handgun. Here it is. Dianne Feinstein in her press conference today. Here's that clip.
Hunting rights. We have tried to recognize legal defense rights. We have tried to recognize the right of a citizen to legally possess a weapon. No weapon is taken from anyone. The purpose is to dry up the supply of these weapons over time. Therefore, there is no sunset on this bill.
There you go. There is no sunset on this bill. And she literally smacks her lips with pleasure. That is an insider trader, one of the top insider traders in Congress. When they got caught, as you know, last year, they did a gangster trick on you, a mafia trick, a lawyer trick. It's on record. They said, oh, it's not against the law for us to do it, which it actually was. We've done whole reports on that. We'll pass a law making it illegal. And the law actually made it legal. It's not constitutional. Where if the ethics committee of the House or Senate run by the insider traders says it's okay, then it is. It's like, oh, we got caught murdering. Oh, well, murder is not illegal for us. We'll pass a law making it illegal. And then the law says, well, we can kill somebody if the ethics committee says it's okay. I mean, that's the games that this big, swollen, pus-filled pig of a woman, this tyrant is engaged in. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Looking back on 2012, we ask ourselves, how did we ever survive? From natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy and the devastating summer drought to the family hardships brought on by a disastrous economy. Our hearts go out to those that have lost everything. At eFoods Direct, we hear from customers every day that are fortunate enough to weather life's storm by having a supply of food on hand. After Hurricane Sandy, Danny from New York City wrote, almost all of the grocery stores are closed, but I managed to get my eFoods just in time to be able to help my sister and niece. It is better to be prepared 10 years too early than one day too late. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Heed the warnings and do what Alex has done. Call 800-409-5633 today or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and build your food supply. It's the best tasting, non-GMO, long-term storable food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Now that we have moved into the winter season, there is an increased need to support our immunity and health. At Silver Lungs, we are committed to meeting your needs by providing a full selection of silver-based products. Our most popular silver-based products are the 32-ounce Nano Silver Solutions, our 2-ounce Nano Silver Nasal Applicators, as well as our all-natural silver soaps. Just released is our 100% natural silver gel. Our new silver gel is not based on synthetic gelling agents, which quickly evaporate and leave the silver at the surface. But rather, we have formulated our silver gel using the natural skin-nourishing chemistry of aloe vera to quickly penetrate and nourish the skin, while delivering the silver more effectively. Visit www.silverlungs.com and click on our store page to find what silver-based products are best for you. That's www.silverlungs.com.
The new year is a great time to take charge of your health and wellness. Get serious and make a stand with Supernatural Silver. This is a breakthrough in silver technology that is several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. Supernatural Silver can be taken orally every day to help fight bacteria, viruses, infections, yeast, and molds. Supernatural Silver is also exceptional for wound care and is highly effective for water purification. It is the #1 choice for thousands of people for immune system support, and it is also a perfect choice for your emergency preparedness. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Check out our new low prices and like us on Facebook.
Alex Jones, thanks for joining us here. We're going to get back into the gun issue. But speaking of Dwight Yoakam, we listened to hours of Dwight Yoakam driving back from the Big Bend in southwest Texas, and certainly 1,000 miles from nowhere. Time doesn't matter to me. And then I got up this morning and saw Don Salazar's article up at Infowars.com. Piers Morgan falls ill days after receiving flu vaccine. And for the first time, I don't have pure disdain and hatred for Piers Morgan, and I like Dwight Yoakam even more. Dwight Yoakam came out and said, man, don't take those things. I don't take those things. You're not going to get sick if you don't take that flu shot. And Piers Morgan, even before he says that, I'm reading the transcript here, we've got the video coming up, agrees with him and says, yeah, how can you say that didn't make me sick? The biggest thing going against the flu shot is a mom gives their 5-year-old the shot and the kid swells up and has a convulsion. That'll cure you of vaccines for the rest of your life. The biggest thing going against the flu shots is my mother was, I don't know, it was like 10, 15 years ago, I forget, was really into triathlons at the time and doing a great job, even winning silver medals and stuff at some big ones in her age group. And she was advised by the team coach, the local sponsored group, going to be in this big state triathlon, take the flu shot a month before because it's in the winter. You don't want this to knock you out. and herself and some of the others got sick. And I mean, my mother was sick for a month, and she never gets sick like that. And we were, I mean, this is like hospital level bad, you know. She didn't go to the hospital, but she was down. And we're talking like a day after she took it. My uncle, my dad's brother, almost died when he was, I think, 7 years old from a tetanus shot. Swole up, had to go to the hospital. So the biggest thing running against him is cause and effect, to the point of now, before they would deny, oh, your kid had a convulsion because we gave him a shot, to it's normal to have a seizure. But, you know, if you're going home, and now the doctors tell them this came out 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, there were so many convulsions from the H1N1. They said, look, just put something hard in their mouth, you know, wooden or whatever you've got, not metal, to break their teeth off. You got to shove something in their mouth. Okay, I'm going to give them this shot. And if they have a convulsion today, it's quite normal. Just put something between their teeth. Imagine, this is quite normal, but they may have a convulsion. And, of course, I laugh because it's so sick. It's the laugh of pain. I mean, I have been on vacation or on the streets, and you'll run into people, and they'll have a 5-year-old that's autistic sitting there, you know, talking to themselves. Sometimes it'll be a younger child, older child, beautiful soul that had a great future ahead of them. And I'll say, when did that happen? Were they born like that? Very nice child. And they'll go, no, Billy was, you know, he was 18 months old, and we went in for a second round of shots, and he couldn't wake up the next morning. He didn't talk for a week, and he never talked again. He was talking so much and so happy, and he hadn't talked since. And, you know, he's 7 years old now, and we believe it's the vaccines, but the doctors say it isn't. Yeah, because the doctors gave it to your kid. They're never going to say they're wrong. Once the Nazis started killing people, and Hitler said, now kill millions, they couldn't say no because, well, they'd done the right thing before. Same thing with the Soviets. Same thing with all these pundits and people wanting to take our guns and wanting collectivism and wanting tyranny. They cannot, and they will not, ever say they were wrong. No matter how crazy it gets, no matter how out of control it gets, most of them will commit to evil forever. If you see the corruption, if you know about liberty, thank God you grew up, had the genetics, had the locale, had the mentors to be able to have common sense. People that get into fraud, it's like gamblers I've known. I've known people that are very successful in business but blow all their money on gambling. And I'm like, listen, stop gambling and you can get out of all this. No, no, no. I'm going to go gamble more and I'll get on top of this. And I'm like, listen, it's designed, that big thing out in the desert and all these systems, to separate you from your money. The house will always win long term. They trumpet the winner, sometimes staged, to make you think everybody's a winner. Okay? But statistically, you lose about 70% of the time or more. Don't be a sucker. If you want to gamble, gamble in business and real life where you have a chance of winning. Because the gambling spirit is actually something genetically and chemically, they've proven in the brain, that is actually associated with leadership. But they take it and misappropriate it like a mind control system. It's like the snake in the Jungle Book trying to hypnotize people. You know, that is a facsimile. It is a fraud. You want to go play poker with your buddies? That's one thing. At least you got an even chance of winning. That's why you don't see a lot of poker going on at the big casinos. Blackjack, you might have a chance to win. But everything else is a fraud at the end of the day. I mean, if you bet your buddies $20 on a football game because it makes it more interesting, I get that. But how did I even get off into gambling? Vaccines. With vaccines, it is just a complete and total fraud. And it's not my opinion of that. And I have a stack of articles here. Piers Morgan falls ill days after receiving flu vaccine. In fact, we're working through these videos right now and then back into the guns and then your phone calls. Piers Morgan falls ill days after receiving flu vaccine. And, you know, I desperately try to get mainline talk show hosts who are intelligent and see a lot of what's going on to talk about vaccines, but they don't want to do it because the corporate media has put a stigma on it of, quote, conspiracy theorist, and run other hoaxes where they claim Dr. Wakefield was involved in a fraud. He's never admitted to that. The evidence has been proven to be a fraud. Turns out the evidence against him has been a fraud. There were 3 previous studies, 2 of them in England, finding what he found years before. And there's a major association with autoimmune disorders and vaccine contaminants in the intestines and the brain. That's why you drink alcohol to affect your brain. It's the same thing. And so much of what he said was dead on. That's why they've gone after him. So they run these hoaxes, kind of like free energy or things like that. They run a hoax 20 years ago saying, you know, no such thing as that, and say, oh, it was done in a mayonnaise jar, so it's all a scam. And then meanwhile, all these real things that get developed never can be deployed because people were told it was a fraud. So there's all these hoaxes going on. But in Adon Salazar's excellent article, he links to the CDC's own seasonal flu vaccine fact guide. In fact, I'm going to get Adon to also link to their adverse reaction page where it says death, seizures, narcolepsy. I mean, just hundreds of things. And then I can show you mainstream news articles where they say there is no side effects. It's a conspiracy theory. In fact, I've read those articles where it says crazy people like Alex Jones and Dr. Blaylock, they say vaccines are causing brain damage and autoimmune disorders and swelling of the brain. There is no proof, and the government says 0 side effects. You go read the inserts of all these vaccines, all of them include death, 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 death. And it's so frustrating to know that aspartame in Diet Coke and thousands of products causes macular degeneration, and to know people that drink these diet drinks and eat the diet candy and go, hey, I hear you're going blind. Can I give you some literature? No, I don't want to see it. Because they don't want to admit they were wrong to do this. I mean, look, I know it's wrong that I like to eat 30-ounce steaks. I know it's wrong that I do unhealthy things. At least I know it. But, I mean, a steak's a lot better than aspartame. I know getting angry is not good for me, but I still do it because it's who I am. This stuff is meant to hurt you. And people say, you know, like the Young Turks guy, I admit it's all happening, but they don't mean it. Well, I've got books where they admit, like Eco-Science, they're doing it on purpose. And see, that's the issue. That's what's so frustrating about this, is that I have watched people. I know 2 local talk show hosts. One says I can talk about it, the other says I can't, that work at the same company, who took the H1N1 shot, despite everything I said to them 4 years ago, who got mild cases of Guillain-Barré. Neurological disorder so bad their hands and feet became numb. Sometimes it totally paralyzes you and kills you. And the doctors even told them this is a vaccine reaction. One of them was Dale Dudley, one of the top morning shows in town on 93.7, the sister station to our AM 590. And I was on his show, and he said, I haven't told anybody this yet, but I'll go ahead and tell you I had to go to the doctor and stuff. The crew knows. Remember, for a couple of months, my hands got numb, my feet. I went to the doctor. I was so scared. I got a mild case of Guillain-Barré. Yeah, what about the articles from yesterday? 800 European children developed narcolepsy after receiving H1N1 vaccine. Here's another one. At least 50 African children paralyzed after receiving Bill Gates-backed meningitis vaccine. Natural News, links to all the mainstream articles. I mean, it's in major newspapers like CBS that 60-something thousand Indian children last year got paralyzed. Many of them died after taking the UN polio vaccine, because it is polio. I mean, it's so cold-blooded that Stalin said 1 man dies is a statistic, 1 million dies, or 1 man dies, it's a tragedy, 1 million dies is a statistic. And to know, it's like back of the paper, 60-something thousand kids, thousands of them died. They're like, oh, well, it's a side effect, no big deal. It's like, hey, yeah, you know, 60,000 kids paralyzed. But you hear about the 20 at Sandy Hook. I mean, it's so over the top how they decide when to punch the buttons of what's sad. And Alex, what about the kids? Turn your guns in. And I'm like, but crimes dropped 49%, violent crime. Here, let me give you the actual. Oh, I don't believe those statistics. Thought you don't believe the government. Well, no, these are locally compiled. Some of the most accurate statisticians world over say these are some of the most accurate in the world. They're the example of what's accurate. It's something good set up 50 years ago. Very accurate crime statistics. I don't want to see that. I don't. They don't want to hear the reality. But, you know, reaching out to Piers Morgan, people say, well, why are you making a big deal out of Piers Morgan if he has 500,000 viewers? That blow up on air was aired on every major English station in the world that I know of. It's one of the biggest media events, not just of this year, but last year. And it's been rated as such. And I didn't really do all that on purpose. I just said, God, you know, whatever you want me to do, have me do it. And that's what happened. And notice they're not having me on all these other shows. They could have me on MSNBC and get double ratings for the week. They could have me on all these Fox News and increase their ratings. They know that. I mean, I've talked to executives of these companies over and over again over the years. Oh, we really want you. We're trying to get you, but there's no way the execs are going to kill it. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't want to be on there. Stop calling me. But don't you want to come up here and shoot a pilot? I mean, you know, they want to meet with you and stuff, but they just want to know that, you know, are you going to work with them? No, I'm not going to work with you. I don't care. I can't be around all those plastic fake people and all the bleach blondes and all the soulless people. You know, I'll build my own thing, thank you. But that's not what this is even about. My point is, why haven't they had me back on these shows? Because they acted like and spun it. Ooh, discrediting. Ooh, look at the crazy gun owners. They don't want you getting out of your trance. They want a calm English accent or an NPR accent selling you on tyranny. They don't want somebody getting up and going, don't take the shots. They're designed to hurt you. Here's proof. Wake up. Get out of your trance. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I've been effective with my approach, not because I even calculated it, but because it's real and organic and it speaks to people's common sense. Everybody listening took the flu shot or knows somebody that did that almost died. Everybody knows they took the flu shot and got deathly ill that week. They're giving you the flu. And the more people take the shot, they've got studies, the more flu there is that year because there's flu in it. And I've had top scientists on about this. How many medical doctors? How many endocrinologists? How many virologists? British studies, Canadian studies 3 years ago. It doubles your chances of getting the flu when you take the shot. That's in a Don Salazar's article. I mean, that's why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm angry. I mean, I know this stuff's hurting people. Every time I go on vacation, every time I'm in a shopping mall, every time I'm in a restaurant, almost every time I'm in a movie theater, there's the whole front row is autistic kids. You know, yelling and screaming during the whole thing, just their minds completely attacked. Their cerebral cortex attacked so they can't process their subconscious info coming out. So that's why things are so intense to them. These are damaged, partially wrecked human souls, and it gets to me because I have empathy, ladies and gentlemen, not because I'm a hero. My programming is if the children are being hurt, mine aren't safe. And that's not a conscious, cold-blooded thing. I can analyze why my programming gets upset. It's self-preservation, folks. It isn't because I'm goody two-shoes. It's because I am a rootin' tootin', out-of-control hillbilly Yosemite Sam. And I know corrupt thugs when I see it, and I go ape when I see it. So I guess it's true, Piers Morgan. I am a gorilla from Texas. But this gorilla knows which way his soul is pointed. This gorilla has his head turned around straight. And you took the shot with Dr. Oz a week ago, and we said he's going to get sick, or that's fake, because it's turned out the politicians in Europe have been caught taking fake shots, and they get their own shot or a sugar water shot. You know, that came out 3 years ago with the H1N1. And he's on there with Dwight Yoakam. And Dwight Yoakam, well, I mean, here is the clip. After he takes the flu shot, he gets super sick. He's having trouble getting over it. And he's asking Dwight Yoakam why this happened. Here it is.
25 million records. Dwight Yoakam is much more than a country superstar. He's a talented actor with a lot to say about issues that matter to America. Dwight's latest album is 3 Pairs. Welcome to you, Dwight. Before we go any further, you're a singer.
Yeah.
You must have had sore throats over the years. I hear that. Well, you know what? As you can tell, things are deteriorating. Is there any advice you can give me?
Don't ever take a flu shot again. Now, I watched that night with Dr. Oz, and in deference to Dr. Oz, I think he's, probably... He seems like a completely competent doctor, and I don't understand any of the, the kind of biological aspects of the, of the meds that.
But we're both doing the maths, aren't we? We both saw him put that thing in my arm, and within 10 days, I've been struck down.
You know what? I don't want to tell anybody out there I'm not a medical advisor. Get your vaccines if you... I don't believe in them. I'm just suspicious by nature, and I saw you get it. and here we are.
Well, let's try. We'll try and plow on with the interview, notwithstanding the fact I can't speak.
Yeah, all right, that's good. And you can go read the full transcript at Infowars.com. And Morgan's like, yeah, you know, you can't disagree. I take it and I'm sick. And, of course, that could be anecdotal. But it's not with the thousands of cases we all know about. Okay? I mean, my grandmother's best friend, registered nurse, whole 9 yards, constantly takes vaccines. Takes the shingles shot, gets the shingles. And then my dad is a oral surgeon and a dentist, and he talks to people, and he goes, yeah, I've talked to, this is like a month ago, I never told the story, because I've talked to 3 people that took the shingles shot and got it. I mean, it's just insane that this is going on. Okay, and we're going to come back and get into the guns, get into the whole Dianne Feinstein situation, and then open the phones up in the second hour. And then you remember the guys that dressed up like pimps and brought down Akron and exposed Planned Parenthood's open plan to kill black people, kill black babies? The legends are going to be joining us here on air. James O'Keefe.
If you've ever wanted one of our best-selling generators, but we're waiting for an offer so crazy you couldn't refuse, then you're not going to want to miss this exciting message. Here's why. Our solar generators provide life-saving electrical power, and unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no fumes, and produce electricity from the sun. So when the lights go out, you'll always have the power you need. Now, here's the best part. Every year, we accumulate a few solar generators that we just can't sell as new. We put them in a special spot in our warehouse, and we discount them heavily at the end of each year. We call them scratch and dent units, but they're really just like new. Each unit comes with a full factory warranty and special bonuses you just won't believe. Don't wait, they go fast. Go to scratchanddentsolar.com, that's scratchanddentsolar.com. For the craziest offer we've ever made, go to scratchanddentsolar.com, that's scratchanddentsolar.com.
Feeling like there are too many pressures and demands on you? Losing sleep worrying about tests and schoolwork? Eating on the run because your schedule is just too busy? You may be under too much stress, and it may be affecting your mind. Get your mental edge back with Nootropic Mind Power from mindregard.com. Nootropic Mind Power is not a drug, but a natural supplement. Its 12 powerful ingredients are natural and non-GMO, plus it's gluten-free, wheat-free, and formulated by Americans for Americans by an NSF-certified laboratory. Nootropic Mind Power is available at mindregard.com, spelled MINDREGARD.com, and comes with a 100% money-back guarantee. Free your mind with Nootropic Mind Power Cognitive Supplement from mindregard.com. MindRegard. Clearly see tomorrow and yesterday. Today.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
You see, the globalists, they want to just normalize everybody to get accustomed to tyranny and cancer rates up several thousand %, and everybody gets breast cancer and everybody gets testicular cancer early. And yeah, you know, childhood cancer didn't exist 100 years ago. It was super rare 50 years ago. You know, now it's up over 10,000% on average. And yeah, if a girl has a Hello Kitty bubble machine that is in the shape of a gun because it's handheld, but it's not even called a gun. My kids actually have had one of those, my 4-year-old. The police come in, you get questioned, we're going to expel her. All of this is going on. And it's insane. And it's political correctness and total control. And then a girl draws a paper gun, and the police are called. She just, again, it's an attack on ideas. It's authoritarianism in the name of the nanny state. And the people running it, they're the ones buying the 1.6 billion bullets. They're the ones talking about a revolution. They're the ones fantasizing about bringing in Chinese troops against us, whether that's feasible or not. They're the ones in the Daily Beast saying, we need to have the communist Chinese tell us what to do. Alex Jones is the enemy. You know, I read those quotes yesterday. I mean, it's bizarre stuff in the Piers pressure story. Look at this article if you're watching on TV. The London Telegraph, Lego accused of racism with Star Wars set. Now, my son is building this right now. And I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to try to get him to finish it. It's really big. Lego has been accused of racism by the Turkish community over a Star Wars model that supposedly resembles one of Istanbul's most revered mosques. And, folks, it has a slight dome on it. Looks almost nothing like it. By the way, that's Christian architecture there. That was a Christian church. So is the big church in Istanbul. The point is it looks almost nothing like it. And they say Jabba the Hutt is meant to look like Arabs. I mean, Jabba the Hutt is a giant space alien worm who talks like Cookie Monster. Teeny Jedi. I mean, this is what it's reached. Hello Kitty guns, bubble guns, Jabba the Hutt things, and the media takes this and goes, no, it's quite normal. Robin Page of the BBC was arrested for saying rural communities deserve the same rights as homosexuals and Muslims. And they said the word homosexual is judged to be mean, and the guy's not even a conservative. And they go and arrest him. And, of course, the charges were dropped because there were no real charges. It's to create the idea of you have no speech. They're going to be able to ban real guns if kids... I see articles every month where somebody will do a zombie story. I've seen this dozens of times. I know you've seen it. They'll write an article about zombies that are so popular and about a fictional school attacked by zombies and how they shoot the zombies, and they will arrest you. And in one article, it was... You know, the dad's parents were split up. The grandparents were raising the top honor student football player. And though it was fictional, the grandpa called the police, and they are charging him saying it's terroristic threats, even though it's a fictional school. I remember that a few years ago. And it's like, where'd Bob go? Oh, he drew a gun. I mean, all we did was draw army fights and stuff when we were doodling as boys. And the girls drew girls in dresses. I mean, that's what you do. All we did was play soldier. They're making normal human activity illegal. It's not illegal yet, but they're still acting like it is. To the point of, ladies and gentlemen, we own the Jabba the Hutt set. I was playing with the figures last night saying you got to get this built. And I was looking at how cool. It's got like a dozen figures. I'm going to bring it in here as soon as it's done. In fact, will you call my house? I know my son's homeschooling today, but will you ask him as soon as he can to get this done? I want to bring this in. Folks, these creatures look nothing like Muslims. I mean, Star Wars is incredibly politically correct and is all about all cultures and groups coming together, including aliens. It's like Star Trek. It's the opposite, is my point. But no, it's racist. Jabba the Hutt's palace makes the Arabs look bad. And in Austria, they're like, we may shut this down, actually. Yes. Again, to set the precedent so they can shut anybody down they want. Be sure and support the broadcast and spread the word about it. And get the new Come and Take It t-shirt at InfoWarsStore.com.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure. And it's available discounted at Infowars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open the phones up in the next hour. Dianne Feinstein posted her bill on her Senate website over a month ago now, and people couldn't believe it. And then others have introduced kind of copies of it themselves, so technically I'd said her bill was introduced. It's officially been introduced today, and it's worse than we even thought. We're going to be going over some of that, but I said it. The way the other one was written, it could be handguns, shotguns, even pump shotguns, or pump rifles. People say pump rifles. They do have a lot of pump rifles, folks. You don't seem to be aware of that. Anything with a pistol grip on it, it's just incredible. And she is so disgusting in the in her press conference. We're going to play this clip coming up, talking about the gun lobby can't beat the cross lobby. Using Christianity. Is Dianne Feinstein a Christian? And speaking for Christians, even if she was a Christian, you do not speak for me, lady. And I think it's just outrageous that people think it's okay to walk on Christians. Can you imagine if I got up here and spoke for Islam when I'm not a Muslim or a follower of the Prophet Muhammad? Can you imagine what would happen? Can you imagine if I got up here and if I spoke for Jewish groups or if I spoke for atheist groups? Well, as an atheist, I believe in God. And as a Christian, I believe in turning your guns in, even though I'm not a Christian. I mean, it is over the top. We're going to open the phones up in the next segment. I want to give the number out in the next segment. We'll open the phones up then. But start your engines. I want to specifically hear about that. But how big is this article? This article needs to get out to everybody because you've got Dwight Yoakam on with Piers Morgan. And Piers Morgan saying, I got the flu shot, and now I'm really been sick for a week. And he's like, well, don't take the flu shot. I want to get Dwight Yoakam on. I've always been a fan anyway, so let that word go out. By the way, my buddies here in the office, Weldon Henson was hanging out with Mike Judge again this weekend here in Austin, and Mike Judge, who's gone back to California, said, yeah, Alex, call me. I'll come on. I got all these big guests I could get, but I've got to call them. And so, Chris, it is a direct order at the end of the show that you are to make me. See, I hate calling people. I hate bugging people. Yeah, no, but all of them, all the celebrities I need to call. Okay, it's just time for me to do it. I guess I could turn you guys loose on them, but it didn't matter. I was just watching Idiocracy a few weeks ago. I just got to get Judge on because we are entering the Idiocracy where Lego accused of racism with Star Wars set, London Telegraph, and the official Turkish group is complaining to the Austrian government. I mean, I guess you can't show any desert motif or desert design. By the way, that design is a medieval Christian design, and it doesn't even look anything like the mosque. I mean, just incredible. I mean, obviously those that built the architecture went for a desert look. I mean, it looks like a lot of the Middle Eastern architecture, but a lot of what you call Middle Eastern is really Roman or Christian. That's a Christian-built building right there. The one they're saying it looks like. And so because in it is Jabba the Hutt, they say Jabba the Hutt's supposed to be Arabs. Man, now everybody will think that because you said that. It's just bizarre. But again, it's a political weapon. Here's an example. I'm going to cover this when we come back. Sigmund Freud said a fear of weapons is a sign of retarded sexual and emotional maturity. Retarded just simply means lowered. But then the word retarded became politically incorrect. So you can't say he's had retarded growth from lack of protein. Oh, my gosh, you're going to be arrested in England. That's a hate term. They choose whatever it is. You said that bonsai tree, by not giving much sunshine or water, was retarded in its growth. That's hateful. You hurt someone. You hurt someone. And it's just a weapon that is used to then put guilt onto people. You won't turn your guns in because you're a Klan member. What's that have to do with it? Don't try to cover up your racism. We all know what you're really up to. It's to create division. It's to create a race war.
Millions of people are going to get sick this winter from colds, flu, and other illnesses. Don't be one of them. Protect yourself with Supernatural Silver, a revolutionary new broad-spectrum antibacterial solution. Recent advances in silver technology have resulted in a silver solution that can be used daily to prevent bacteria, viruses, mold, and food poisoning, and help improve wound healing. Supernatural Silver is safe enough to consume every day, while powerful enough to destroy the causes of many serious diseases, such as strep, staph, pneumonia, colds, flus, and other harmful pathogens. This new technology has the ability to terminate entire colonies of harmful bacteria at several hundred times the effectiveness of colloidal or ionic silver solutions. The Science Digest journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and use the promo code SILVER2012 for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
The new year is a great time to take charge of your health and wellness. Get serious and make a stand with Supernatural Silver. This is a breakthrough in silver technology that is several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. Supernatural Silver can be taken orally every day to help fight bacteria, viruses, infections, yeast, and molds. Supernatural Silver is also exceptional for wound care and is highly effective for water purification. It is the #1 choice for thousands of people for immune system support, and it is also a perfect choice for your emergency preparedness. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Check out our new low prices and like us on Facebook.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us in the second hour, you probably heard me break down the 150-plus firearms and their variants. The way I read her bill, we've got a copy of it right here. The way I read the list, or their variants, it's way more than 150. I know the Associated Press and others are saying 150. That is not the case. The way the ATF, in fact, man, sometimes I wish I could just be in there writing articles because it's more effective than just being on air talking about it. But I'm putting it out. People will go research it and get their own articles out, if not our guys, because we're just overworked here. There's just too many baseballs getting thrown at us here, too many news things. All AK types, including the following. And then it goes on. All of these types, all of those types, they say it over and over again. So they list 150 firearms on this page. It's way over that in her official bill from page TNWM2HB. And this is just one of the pages. I mean, it's way over 150. It's almost all semi-auto handguns, rifles, shotguns that have got grips on them, but then shotguns that can also take clips, even if they're only designed to take 4 rounds. I mean, it's over. They're coming after everything. They are coming after everything. And this is just completely out of control. So I want to get your take on the official bill here. But first off, I'm going to give you the number. It's 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. And we will get you up and on the air about this situation. Now, also, I covered it last hour. It's a big deal. We have time. We'll play the clip again. Dwight Yoakam, I'm a big fan of. Piers Morgan falls ill days after receiving flu vaccine. And he goes on the Piers Morgan show, and Piers basically goes, yeah, I got the flu shot from Dr. Oz and then got sick a week later. And I'm really sick. Whenever this flu is, it also attacks your lungs. You have like a hemorrhagic, light form of hemorrhagic fever. You have some of hemorrhagic, is that the proper term, response in your lungs. And it is certainly not a fun thing. But this is the type of thing. People won't read the CDC's own admissions that it can kill you or give you its own autoimmune response in your lungs or brain. They won't tell you it can cause Guillain-Barré permanently or kill you. They don't tell you it can cause hundreds of things. They just, people don't go look that up. The media just says there's no side effects, don't listen to conspiracy theorists. But when Piers Morgan gets sick after the flu shot and Dwight Yoakam says don't take the flu shot, that's the type of thing that'll get to the sheeple. The sheeple, a lot of them go, I still take it, even though I get sick usually when I take it. I've talked to them, I go, but you don't think there's a cause and effect there. We got to try to help these folks. It's easy to laugh at them and get mad at them. They're victims. They were set in front of the television set in the last 60 years in their diapers as a babysitter being programmed to be a bunch of mind-numbed robots. And we've got to deprogram them, or they're going to be used as an army, a tidal wave of foaming at the mouth, slobbering, drooling, miscreant, gibbering, is the proper term, lemmings, to run us over the cliff with them. We have got to get in there and help them. Now, I mentioned political correctness earlier. There's the CDC website if you're watching us at prisonplanet.tv. And you can go read the different vaccine responses, including death, and depending on the vaccine you take. But getting back to political correctness, there's an all-out attempt to make toy manufacturers not have G.I. Joe, Star Wars with guns. There's an all-out attempt to not let boys play with toy guns or girls. That's why the police come when your neighbors, call them because the kid's got an orange or pink Nerf gun in the yard. You see that in the news every day now. Or a girl draws a paper gun, or a girl has a Hello Kitty bubble projector. It's not even a gun. My children have had multiple Hello Kitty, the exact same pink ones. And we've had a Choco Cat one that's black because we're racist. Absolutely. My kids wear Choco Cat outfits because we're racist, okay? I mean, the cat is black, ladies and gentlemen, Choco Cat. My wife's got a Choco Cat nightgown. Total racism again. And you're saying, Alex, don't be silly. Folks, they mean it to be mindless and over the top. Let's punch up for viewers. I covered this last hour, but I'm going to segue this into guns, then your calls. London Telegraph. Lego accused of racism with Star Wars set. The official Austrian government's looking at it. The big Turkish council, the biggest minority council in Austria, is outraged and is demanding an apology, and there may need to be reparations from Lego because, ladies and gentlemen, they say Jabba the Hutt is a Arab. Maybe Michael Moore? I mean, is the Goblin King supposed to be Rush Limbaugh? I mean, does Rush Limbaugh get angry and go on the air and say, I'm going to sue the makers of The Hobbit because that looks a little bit like me, too. I'm going to be mean to Rush. The point is, that's it. That's it. Let's put the Goblin King on air. Okay? Let's if people watching just Google the Goblin King, it looks a little bit like me, a little bit like Rush Limbaugh, in our heavier times. And that's it. I'm suing Lego. I'm announcing it. I am suing Lego because my son has the Goblin King set as well, and I'm telling you, it looks a little bit like me. That's it. That's it. You're racist against white people. You're racist against white guys that are a couple pounds overweight and have big heads. That's it. I am totally blown away right now by there it is. Look at that. They are making fun of me right there. Click it for people that are watching. This is outrageous. That's me when I wake up in the morning and I've had too much to drink. I mean, this is incredible. I am suing Lego. I want a press release right now. I agree that the job of the Hutt's supposed to be Muslims. It's obvious. And it's obvious that the whole Return of the Jedi is to make fun of Muslims. It's absolutely proof. Even though it's a politically correct movie about integrating everybody, still it doesn't matter. George Lucas should be arrested right now. He is a racist. And gun owners should be arrested because they're racist. They're like Hitler. You hear it on every TV channel every day. Everything. I agree. Amazing. And by the way, if you're a new listener, I'm joking about the Goblin King stuff in the lawsuit. The point is they really are looking at legal action in Austria over the Star Wars Jabba the Hutt palace that I bought just about a week and a half ago for my son at the Lego store. Only reason we go to the mall is to go to the Lego store. The Turkish community said the model was based on a mosque in Istanbul and that the accompanying figures depict Asians and Orientals as people with deceitful and criminal personalities. The Turkish cultural community, well, I guess Emperor Palpatine's meant to make white people look bad. I mean, this is just total bull. Why is Mace Windu a good guy? He's a black guy. I thought supposed to be blacks look bad. It's racist. The Turkish cultural community of Austria released a statement calling for Lego to apologize for affronting religious and cultural feelings. And they go on to say they believe that Jabba the Hutt is supposed to be a Muslim. I mean, folks, this is so over the top. I just can't get over it. But they know what they're doing. This is cultural Marxism. This is the type of control they admit they're using. Here's an example. You use the word homosexual in a news article in England, you will be arrested because they say the word homosexual offends people, even though it's the scientific name. If you use the term Caucasian now, they're saying it's racist because it's a racial name, even though it's just a scientific designation, Caucasus Mountains. If you use the word Negro, which comes out of Latin for negro or black, it has nothing to do with the N-word. People think it does, and they get in trouble. I've seen articles where they take people to jail for using that word. It's amazing how they do this. And again, it's to get you so scared you won't talk. Oh, I better not have Hello Kitty bubble gum. Oh, it shoots bubbles, it's evil. Better not buy my son a Nerf gun to play in the yard. The cops will come. I better not. I better not. I better watch my speech. I better. And the other night on the nightly news, we had this quote that I was actually familiar with because I read some of the writings over a decade ago of Sigmund Freud. What he says is totally true. You notice people that are anti-gun always say we have the guns because we have small members, which is just absolutely asinine. Guns are about self-defense. But Sigmund Freud said a fear of weapons is a sign of retarded sexual and emotional maturity. General Introduction to Psychoanalysis, published 1920. And I read that book. That's why when I saw them, they said, is this a real quote? We went and looked it up, confirmed it was. No, actually, he does a whole chapter of how ridiculous people are that are scared of weapons in the hands of citizens. He even talks about when they see soldiers with guns, they're not scared because it's the state. They're scared of other people having guns because they're scared of what they would do with guns. That's why they're always talking about how they want to kill people. Piers Morgan and Buzz Bissinger and the rest of them, because Bissinger on the show said, I'm mentally ill. I'm on drugs. Or he said the next day when people said, why'd you say kill Alex? He goes, well, I'm mentally ill. See, that's their excuse to be what they are because they are mentally ill. You understand? They don't want you having a gun because they're scared of a knife, the studies show. I mean, I've been around liberals and people in college and pulled out a knife or something to cut something around. Oh, watch out with that. I mean, they're just totally scared of everything. And then see, politically correct, Jacobson's like, man, I bet when you read that, they're going to get politically correct. Retarded just means you didn't feed the bonsai tree enough water, so it's small. But the term becomes like a pejorative, so they say, don't use it. Sigmund Freud says they have never developed their sexual and emotional maturity. And the word to describe that is stunted or retarded. But see, oh my gosh, I hear about talk show hosts getting fired for using the word. See how we're losing our language? Can't say Caucasoid. Can't say Oriental. They say that's racist now. Everything. Put suicide nets around the Apple factory with hundreds of people jumping off of it to where they have to put suicide nets up. That's no big deal. Forced abortion's no big deal. You know, you want to inject a bunch of Guatemalan kids with syphilis and kill them, go ahead. That's a government. Yeah, but hey, Hello Kitty, bubble guns that shoot bubbles, you know what? Let's call the cops. I mean, let's call them right now. Let's call them immediately. The way to handle this political correctness is what's happened with these outdoor shows that banned guns at them, everybody just boycotted it. Now it's been canceled. Okay, that's the answer. They're trying to boycott us and have a revolution against us to shut us down. We shut them down. It's us or them.
Looking back on 2012, we ask ourselves, how did we ever survive? From natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy and the devastating summer drought to the family hardships brought on by a disastrous economy. Our hearts go out to those that have lost everything. At eFoods Direct, we hear from customers every day that are fortunate enough to weather life's storm by having a supply of food on hand. After Hurricane Sandy, Danny from New York City wrote, almost all of the grocery stores are closed, but I managed to get my eFoods just in time to be able to help my sister and niece. It is better to be prepared 10 years too early than one day too late. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Heed the warnings and do what Alex has done. Call 800-409-5633 today or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and build your food supply. It's the best tasting, non-GMO, long-term storable food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
HempUSA.org has a newly designed website and a new and improved detoxification product. Order our new microplant powder gold loaded with vitamins, minerals, iodine, and probiotics, and we'll send you our travel-size microplant powder absolutely free. Microplant powder only at HempUSA.org. Call 908-691-2608. That's 908-691-2608. And see what our powders, seeds, and oil can do for you only at HempUSA.org. Hurry, this offer ends January 31st.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Hey there, Frank Bates here. Have you heard about the weird device that could wipe out 280 million Americans? This is really scary stuff. Defense experts warn that this odd device poses the gravest threat we've ever known. In fact, just a few weeks ago, former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich wrote an op-ed piece for the Washington Post warning about this deadly threat. I can't believe that more people aren't talking about this. It may be because the liberals and the government are trying to cover it up. That's why my friend just created a free video at weirddevice.com that exposes this threat and blows the doors off the conspiracy. Go watch the shocking video at weirddevice.com right now to discover exactly what it is, plus discover the #1 way you and your family can survive this deadly attack. I'm not sure how long this video will be online, so go to weirddevice.com before it's gone forever. Again, that's weirddevice.com.
Keefe of the Veritas Project. You know him from bringing down Acre and exposing Planned Parenthood, taking money to make sure blacks get exterminated, and a lot more. Now they're going to anti-gunners' houses and putting up that's a gun-free zone up front their house. So he's going to be joining us in the next hour. We're going to your phone calls right now, but if you're watching on TV or you're a radio listener, I'm not joking about the fact that they're talking about going after Lego and the Austrian government and other areas because the Muslim groups say that Jabba the Hutt is supposed to be a Muslim. Lego accused of racism with Star Wars set, a set I own that my son owns and has nothing to do with it. So I'm making the announcement I believe the Goblin King, if Jabba the Hutt's supposed to be Arabs, the Goblin King, I'm even a public figure versus, just Muslims in general. And I've had, a little bit of jowls before being overweight and having a large head. So I believe Lego, based in Europe, is racist and made the new Goblin King, even though he was described in The Hobbit, written 70 years ago or so, to look like this. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if Star Wars was written back in the 70s. It has nothing to do with Arabs. I am right now saying that is supposed to be Alex Jones. And I am going to file suit on Lego for putting out a set to demean me and describe white people as big and fat and ugly. I mean, that's obviously me right there. And how dare them? Where do they make Lego? Is it the Finns or the... yeah, Denmark. Okay, the Danes. Well, that's it. They're racist towards white people. I mean, it's obvious. They've got white figures that are fat and ugly, and I'm going to sue you. You are doing this to me. I'm filing a report with the FBI, and I'm going to the cultural organizations. I'm going to the Austrian government, too. How dare you? I think I'm going to put a press release. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'll actually go and officially say, because you know what? You're right. Jabba the Hutt is to make fun of Arabs. Shut Lego down. Racist, racist, racist. Hello Kitty bubble guns. Arrest the children. This is completely normal. Blame all gun owners for bad people. Put everyone on Prozac so they kill more people, so the psychiatrists get more money to put more people on it to kill more people. That's the answer. I've been wrong all these years. The liberals are right. They're not authoritarians. They're good people. They're right. Gun owners are like Nazis. And we defeated Hitler. We can defeat America. I agree with all the people on MSNBC. I have been wrong, and I want to apologize here on air right now. It's so obvious. Oh, my gosh. You can all sue. That looks like McAdoo, the one with the beard. Oh, my gosh. It's racist towards... It's racist. Oh, my gosh. It looks like the Crew. There's Wes right there. I mean, that's us. It's obvious. I'm suing. It's, oh, my gosh. It's, oh, Lego is so evil. And it's copyright infringement. They've used my likeness without getting the authorization. You just never actually played the Goblin King. Ah, good to see you today. I'm glad you could drop by. Actually, I'm going to assume over Jabba the Hutt, too. It's actually meant to make fun of me as well. I mean, just total mass liberal schizophrenia. But the establishment knows, teeny Jedi. You guys gave me some of the text of Jabba's talk, but I think it's from like one of the later movies. Yeah, this is Phantom Menace. Yeah, I need him from Return of the Jedi if I'm going to do a... See, I actually need him, going, to actually do a better one. All right, that's enough, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tuned in, I'm illustrating their absurdity by just showing how out of control this is. And, of course, Han Solo, Punch It Up, is shown as silver. That's racism towards the Tin Man. That's why they did that. Oh, my gosh. Whoa, whoa. Better have the owners of the franchise of the Yellow Brick Road, The Wizard of Oz, sue immediately. I just can't believe the racism that we're seeing. Oh, my gosh. See, you're meant to look for all this imaginary stuff. Well, meanwhile, they're taking everybody's rights, and select corporations are exempt from taxes, but you and I aren't. That's the real discrimination. But they want us all fighting with each other, divide and conquer. We're all a bunch of mentally ill twits obsessed with political correctness. My dad, at one of his dental offices, bought a bunch of 1920s Art Deco Vogue art. And in one hanging in a dark corner, in a hallway, is from the 1920s, and it's a Vogue, and it's a bunch of, women dressed as flappers, and one of them has a cigarette. And he's had now multiple people. We're talking about it again. One lady came to him and said, I'm calling the police. It's illegal to show cigarette smoking. And he went, it's a museum piece. And she just was freaking out. And then some other woman got mad. And imagine, this is a poster with a woman about 3-4 inches tall. You have the look of a bunch of people on it with a cigarette. And again, these people want all the old movies banned because they show cigarettes. They already got most of the old cartoons banned. They're going to ban everything. These people are 1984 tyrants. They want control of information. In fact, I got a bunch of articles today where the EU is calling to be able to arrest any journalist they want for any reason if what they say is politically correct. In fact, that's on Infowars.com. I mean, it's out of control, I promise. Your calls on the other side of this break.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Looking back on 2012, we ask ourselves, how did we ever survive? From natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy and the devastating summer drought to the family hardships brought on by a disastrous economy. Our hearts go out to those that have lost everything. At eFoods Direct, we hear from customers every day that are fortunate enough to weather life's storm by having a supply of food on hand. After Hurricane Sandy, Danny from New York City wrote, almost all of the grocery stores are closed, but I managed to get my eFoods just in time to be able to help my sister and niece. It is better to be prepared 10 years too early than one day too late. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Heed the warnings and do what Alex has done. Call 800-409-5633 today or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and build your food supply. It's the best tasting, non-GMO, long-term storable food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
Now that we have moved into the winter season, there is an increased need to support our immunity and health. At Silver Lungs, we are committed to meeting your needs by providing a full selection of silver-based products. Our most popular silver-based products are the 32-ounce Nano Silver Solutions, our 2-ounce Nano Silver Nasal Applicators, as well as our all-natural silver soaps. Just released is our 100% natural silver gel. Our new silver gel is not based on synthetic gelling agents, which quickly evaporate and leave the silver at the surface. But rather, we have formulated our silver gel using the natural skin-nourishing chemistry of aloe vera to quickly penetrate and nourish the skin, while delivering the silver more effectively. Visit www.silverlungs.com and click on our store page to find what silver-based products are best for you. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at Infowars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center and the heart of the resistance.
Okay, folks, let's go to your phone calls. As promised, again, I'm your host, Alex Jones. The news websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And they are some of the biggest and most important and most accurate outposts out there trying to warn people about the incredible tyranny that we're going into. And again, if we succeed and hold back the tyranny, which we've done at many levels, then people say, oh, there's no tyranny. But if we don't succeed, well, then the show will just get bigger and bigger and bigger until it's finally shut down, because we're going to see the tyranny expand. And that's why the show, the broadcast, the news organization is exploding right now, is because the country is going to hell in a handbasket. And all the different tyrannies that I've warned you about are happening because the globalists write white papers. The Rand Corporation has been public about this. Dianne Feinstein has said she wants a total abolition of guns in the past. So is the Attorney General. So is Obama as a state senator. The UN treaty. The UN has said they want the abolition of civilian firearms ownership because it threatens the legitimate power monopoly of a state. That is a Unidir quote, July 7th, 2001, New York City. Addendum to the treaty. I mean, I know their goal. I've read their book. I've read their handbook. It's kind of like the New England Patriots, you know, getting the playbooks and spying on the other team. They knew what they were going to do. I mean, I'm sitting here. They're not even hiding it. They've got a whole plan. And then they've got, every day I see CNBC, MSNBC, CNN, you name it, running around saying to everybody that gun owners are Klan, are racist, are Nazis. We defeated Hitler. We can defeat them. I mean, it's everywhere. You're seeing it. We're mass murderers. We're causing the death. People have a right to have us not killing them, as if our guns are killing them, not criminals. And this is an authoritarian takeover, and it's over the top because they're going for broke. Meanwhile, they're saying Southerners are crud, Southerners have to be overcome, the Constitution has to be overcome, Wrangell and others. You go down to UT, talk to the students, that's all. The Southerners must be overcome. We have video of them shot last week, edited over the weekend, that aired after Wrangell, and it's girl after girl. The Southerners have to be dealt with. They must have their guns taken. He will be our new Lincoln. I mean, this is the battle plan. And you're like, well, Southerner, I just want freedom. What's this about Southerner? You're going to be the Southerner. All whites nationwide. You're the enemy. You did it. You're unless you join us. Well, okay, guns are bad. I join you. I admit I'm evil. Meanwhile, they're so politically correct, you can't have a Jabba the Hutt toy. That must mean he's an Arab. As asinine as saying, I'm the Goblin King, or Rush Limbaugh is, and they're talking about going after the, you know, and Lego in Europe because of the new Lego set I just covered. Notice how you can't draw a gun. You can't have a bubble projector that looks like a gun with Hello Kitty. You can't have that. But we're going to kill you, Piers Morgan says, and his other host, and we're going to take your rights, and we're buying 1.6 billion bullets and militarizing police in black uniforms, marching like stormtroopers and federalizing everything. But we're liberal and sweet, and you're a scumbag white person. I mean, they have white guys on, you've seen them on MSNBC going, whites are scum, Southerners are trash. I mean, that's real bigoted attacks, real division. And a lot of whites are like, well, I wasn't racist. I got a lot of friends, but man, why? Okay, you're saying it's a race war? I mean, you're making me do this? It's like prison. They send you to prison. It's how Wackenhut and all the other big correction systems have it, and it's set up where, okay, you're white, you go in the white area. You're like, well, why do I go there? Well, you're going to get killed if you don't. You're going to get beat up, at least raped. You get in, they go, all right, we are the white supreme brotherhood, or we're the Aryan nations, or we're the brotherhood of, you know, Crom or whatever, and, you know, you're going to deal drugs for us, and you're going to do all this, or we're going to let those folks kill you. And you've got the white supremacist, the black supremacist, the Hispanic supremacist, and on the East and West Coast, the Asian supremacist, 4 different blocks in the prison, and they all go to the warden, and the drugs are brought in, and the whole thing's run that way. And if they want somebody politically killed, they just, you know, go ahead and take that guy out. Go ahead and take that guy out. And see, it's a prison culture. I mean, I see it on YouTube about, you're not a, you know, you don't want to deal with the blacks and the Jews and kill them. They're going to kill us. You're working for them. Yeah, I learned that. You go to their website and, or their YouTube channel, and you'll hear them bragging, yeah, I've been in the pen for 10 years for armed robbery. I know how to deal with it. I mean, I know you guys are when I hear you, because you always talk about, yeah, I'd like to get you and rape you. It's always the standard, I'm going to rape you, because you're an ex-con. Okay? You were put into a college to be brainwashed, and you're tough because you got the prison tats, and, you know, it's all social engineering. See, I know how it all works. And it's the same thing with the Mexican extremist. Oh, you don't like it, we're taking over. When we get you, we're going to rape you, whitey. Oh, you're a convict. See, my guns are to protect me from the government and their convict armies that they run. And they run all the capos, the white supremacists they run, the black supremacists, the Mexican supremacists, all government funded. It's all come out on record, all of it, all of it. You're all government. You're a disgusting disgrace. You're pathetic. You don't care about humankind. And it's all done under political correctness. All this racial harmony crud is absolute bull to make middle-class wealthy people, no matter what color you are, be all, I'm conforming, I'm not in part of any of all this racial stuff that's going on. I'm going to... Okay, I said I'd go to your calls. I'm going to them right now. William, John, George, Jerome, Truth Raider, and others. But this is what's going on. This is what's going on. I mean, I was at the airport about a year and a half ago, flying back from the Talkers Conference. I don't think I've ever even told this story. Actually, I have. But Rob Dew was there. And I guess this guy knew who I was, and he was a big white guy, tats all over him. I could tell, convict-type guy, and he comes over. And he gets in my face, obviously knew who I was. It was some kind of setup, and grabs my breast. That's what he called them, my pectorals, and twist them, trying to get a response. And I knew it was a setup, and I could see cops and stuff about 50 feet away. I was like, oh, okay, this is all a setup. And he goes, oh, I'd like to get you. I'd like to rape you. And I'm like, wow, they got a convict waiting for me at the Austin airport knowing I'm getting off. I mean, I guess I do got to get bodyguards just to watch my back, just so people can't come up and do that. And he grabs me, total convict stuff, twist my, the skin on my pectorals, twist them, and then goes, oh, I'd like to get you. I'd like to rape you. And I'd rape you. And that's who they are. That's who they are. That's who they are. That's what they want. They want to dominate. They want to control. They can't invent things. They don't know beauty. They don't know strength. They don't know family. They never had a family. Their daddy beat them. They sat in a crib with flies all over them while mama smoked crack, or while mama did methamphetamine. And then they grew up and went to prison and learned to be a tough guy. And now that's all they've got. I've got justice on my side. I would have climbed up on top of that guy and just his head right like that. You understand that, boy? You think you're tough? The devil doesn't give you strength. Life gives you strength. You're weak and you're empty. And you grew up in crap-filled diapers, and I grew up with love. And that's why you think evil's giving you strength, because you're a pathetic little boy. All of you who serve evil, you're a joke. Let's go ahead and go to your phone calls. William in New York, you're on the air.
Yeah, that is good, Alex. I appreciate that. Listen, man, my family and I pray for you and your family every day. I appreciate everything you're doing for everybody. But listen, we're in a hell of a jam here in New York. I mean, I'm getting sick of it. What do you suggest that... I know what I'm going to do, but what do you suggest that people in New York do about what's coming down?
I have to say, we got a lot of affiliates in New York, great people in the big cities, but also in the rural areas. I would leave. Or I would get super aggressive and try to repeal it, but... Exodus is always the best thing, and then, of course, they'll corner you somewhere else. But I'm not a big fan of the small community that tries to go to the local system with bargaining power to be left alone. I think it's good to go to areas where people know about liberty, and there's a lot of liberty lovers, and so that will percolate out into the system. I would do like a lot of New Yorkers are doing. Come to Texas, man. The New Yorkers I meet down here in Texas are all great people. Californians are great people, but the really nasty ones are the socialists from California, and they've just overrun everything and are trying to take over. And they even talk about that. I mean, the Agenda 21 shows a triangle map of San Antonio, Austin, up to Dallas and Fort Worth and Houston, and they say, we are taking these areas over. And they go into government, they go into the meetings, they are there as brutal authoritarians to take control, wearing their camouflage of being liberals. What'd you think of Feinstein saying, we're going to phase out your guns?
Oh, I hate it. I hate it to death. I mean, talking is over, Alex. I mean, I know you talk a lot about handling things through activism, writing, protests, things of that nature. But, I mean, come on, talk is over. I mean, the talk tea time, the only thing these barbarians understand is aggression.
Listen, I hear that, but they're losing politically. Obama wasn't really elected. They ran a fake guy against him. I'm seeing the numbers. A lot of you aren't public figures. You don't know. I mean, I go sit in a hot spring on the Texas-Mexico border with 15 people and wearing a ball cap, and one person hears my voice and goes, Alex Jones. Next person, Alex Jones, Alex Jones. They were from New York, California, San Antonio, France. I come back the next day to the hot springs. Most of the people knew who I was. Everywhere I went, I'd be talking up on a mountaintop, and somebody 50 feet down would go, is that Alex Jones? I mean, let me tell you, the globalists are going for it all right now because they're a paper tiger. And I'm not bragging, hey, I'm this big shot, everybody knows who I am. If people know who I am and then say they agree with me, black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter, it shows Now, obviously, that's going to be a higher educated group that knows how to go find a hot springs in the middle of the desert somewhere. It's going to be a more educated group climbing, 8,000-foot mountains. But where you go, and there's like middle class, upper middle class, but also some areas of blue collar, where you find highly educated liberal idiots, they will spout Marxism and not even know it's Karl Marx. And they are in their own world, man. And they are openly saying Obama is Lincoln and is going to conquer us. You can look it up. I mean, they're coming. So I hear what you're saying, but they provocateur events like Oklahoma City because they can't win the cultural debate with us. So whoever fires first loses. That's why they're going to fire and say we did it, or push people into a corner and get them to fire. Okay, so it's like, I don't want it to go to the shooting war. They want it to. So does that tell you a shooting war is a good thing, William?
I just don't. I'm really frustrated with the paying for Al-Qaeda weapons and more security.
What would have happened when that guy grabbed my pectorals and tried to rip my, well, you know what they're called. I'm going to say it on radio. Did a you-know-what twister on me. What would have happened if I would have attacked the convict?
Yeah, that wouldn't end well.
Yeah, no. They were going to have their victory. They had a convict, and it's on record. The police were ready to arrest him after the whole stage thing happened. He was like, what? Hey, guys, come on. It was a wink, wink. But I was smart enough because the cops that were there watching it, they left when it happened, and I didn't take the bait. Then I went and called, and the TSA all looked freaked out and was watching and called other people. And this all happened on record. That's why anyway, it's a side issue, but they don't like me too much over there. I have to go to the Lions Den every time I fly. I mean, they were planning. See, I knew. I mean, it hurt when the guy did it. It hurt real bad. He grabbed and twisted as hard as he could, a full-grown man, and I just cut off the pain and went, oh, what's your problem? You're going to get in a lot of trouble for that. And he couldn't believe I just stood there totally calmly. I just turned it off. Okay, I just turned the pain off. So what are you going to do? And then he called me a wimp and said he was going to rape me and all this, waiting for me to do something. And again, ABC Nightline implied that I have fake anger. No, I just let myself where I'm somewhat safe here. Then I can show you what I really think. But out there, I know when to hold them. I know when to fold them. I know when to walk away. I know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. And the money I'm after is liberty. The goal I'm after is freedom and defeating these globalists. I take it personal, the children they brain damage with vaccines and GMO. I take it personal, the children they abort. I take it personal because you know why? It is personal. I'm a human being, and I have an allegiance to humanity and the God that created us. God gives you life and joy and children and everything wholesome. The devil gives you death and destruction and poverty and pain. And the New World Order is the devil. Let's go ahead and talk to John in Pennsylvania. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for listening to me. I just want to thank you for, just being who you are and also all those info warriors out there.
Well, thank you, brother.
Basically, what I was calling about is I'm just sick of hearing all this spin. And, they keep on comparing the United States with other countries. I think, first of all, the United States became the great country that it is today because of what we stand for, not what other countries stand for.
Absolutely. I mean, did you go read the Daily Beast article that said peers pressure, where it said it's good to have the Chinese and the Russians and peers telling us what to do? This is globalization 2.0. Let Alex, prepare his flamethrower. We're coming for him. And then the ABC Nightline says Alex is now under very serious scrutiny. And they're saying they want to kill me and my kids, hope they're safe at night. I mean, that's who they are. Look, guys, I know you're a bunch of gangster thugs or a bunch of wannabes. I get that I'm in danger. And that's the point. I know America is in danger. And yes, they're trying to get us used to foreigners telling us what to do under global government.
Yep. Also, the fact is that, they're using the oldest strategy, the divide and conquer, mind, body, spirit. We've been hit with that. I mean, I hate to be redundant, but you've said it time and time again. And as far as everyone who's listening, the ones that are awake need to wake up the ones that are sleeping. And the spin is the way they're doing it, divide and conquer. They want to keep on pulling the Americans away from each other, and we have to keep on using our voices and get out there and support our local gun shops and speak to our neighbors and get out there and not text, because if we're using the technology, they'll take it from us too.
Well, we need to engage with the latest technology, but also engage with low tech and build multiple pillars, multiple tentacles against the enemy. We need to move against them on every front as they've moved against us. Listen, if somebody doesn't sell so-called semi-autos, assault rifles, boycott them. I mean, I'll never go in Dick's Sporting Goods again. And I've been in there and bought stuff. I will never, support anybody. I mean, here's the article. NRA boycott kills outdoor show that banned assault weapons. The massive boycott sparked by NRA and other gun rights outraged by the nation's largest outdoor show banned the exhibition of assault weapons has caused the show organizers to abruptly cancel the week-long event in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And it's gone on forever. It's the Reed exhibitions. I mean, it's over. And you listen, they want to intimidate us, take our language. I mean, how mad does it make you? I don't care where you live. I mean, I always see these comments in YouTube going, you dumb Southerner Texan, you pathetic gun owner. And I always see folks, I'm from New York, I'm from California. It isn't about being a Southerner owning guns. See how they try to play that game and then say Southerners are racist. I mean, Southerners, I mean, how many blacks in the South own guns? It's just all overgeneralizations. Can you imagine if I came out and said, New Yorkers are scum? I mean, what the media would do with that? Imagine they're on TV calling everybody in the South scum. What do you make of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I'm saying is basically as far as, like, they got to stop these puppets. They think these puppets think that they've had loss. They don't know what loss is until they've seen it, because I've seen it. I've watched my family systematically been killed in another country.
I want to hear this from you when we come back. I want to hear about your family. Stay there.
Looking back on 2012, we ask ourselves, how did we ever survive? From natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy and the devastating summer drought to the family hardships brought on by a disastrous economy. Our hearts go out to those that have lost everything. At eFoods Direct, we hear from customers every day that are fortunate enough to weather life's storm by having a supply of food on hand. After Hurricane Sandy, Danny from New York City wrote, almost all of the grocery stores are closed, but I managed to get my eFoods just in time to be able to help my sister and niece. It is better to be prepared 10 years too early than one day too late. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Heed the warnings and do what Alex has done. Call 800-409-5633 today or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and build your food supply. It's the best tasting, non-GMO, long-term storable food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
My name is Stephen Hewer. After 22 years of nutritional counseling, I've observed that most brain malfunctions have at their roots some form of toxicity and brain damage. So whether it is poor memory, poor focus, lack of creative thinking, or more serious matters like inability to focus, speak normally, or remember things, the emphasis to getting one's brain working optimally needs to be on detoxification. One World Way supports your body's #1 means of detoxification, which is glutathione production.
My name is Angie, and my son has suffered from borderline autism and constipation. I got him on One World Way, and in 2 months, his constipation is gone. He has become friendlier. He can carry on a normal conversation with me, and he has made his first friend. He's doing great, and he looks forward to taking One World Way every day. You could offer him a present or a cake, and he would prefer the One World Way.
Go to oneworldway.com. That's oneworld.com, or call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325.
You land in Buenos Aires, then are shuttled to Santa Rosa, where a nicely furnished cabin with all amenities, Wi-Fi, executive food and wine, and laundry service awaits. After a good night's sleep, your adventure begins. You're on a golden stag safari for big game. But it's not Africa, it's Argentina. One-on-one guided hunts for water buffalo, cougar, bighorn rams, wild boar, and the biggest stag deer in South America. All gold medal quality. All the action you can handle. Land Rovers, top rental guns with scopes, all food, beverages, hunting guides, ground transportation included, and more, all more affordable than you can imagine. The adventure of a lifetime starts at goldenstagsafaris.com. The big game hunting ranch. goldenstagsafaris.com.
minute, we're going to go back to John and then George, Jerome, Truth Raider. We'll get to all of you before our guest comes on. Briefly, I want to do a big rollout on this tomorrow. This has been 2 years in development. A anti-fluoride filter and heavy metal filter in the regular silver-based ceramic filter in one. And if you go to InfoWarsStore.com, you can see the rollout with ProPure. And by the way, we're discounting at 10% out of the gates. Normally, people don't do that. And we don't do like Walmart where we increase the price and then discount it to say it's a discount, or others have been caught doing. You can get the new all-in-one filters made in England, developed by scientists here in the United States. This is what I use. It has just come out. It is amazing. No priming required. The new filters are available. It's called Pro One from ProPure, and it fits into all of your ProPure units. No one else has this. And it also takes out the hydrofluorosilicic acid base that the other filters don't. And all the scientific data and side-by-side comparisons are up on the site in the studies. And it also cuts out the sodium hexafluorosilicate, which is the real stuff they're putting in the water. You know, the truth is most other fluoride filters, and we've sold these too, only reduce it, and they don't get out a lot of the acid-based systems. But this does. It's the new ProPure Pro One, available at InfoWarsStore.com, and your purchase supports the broadcast, or call 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. 2 years in development. In fact, I was first talking to ProPure when they were starting this development. It took them 2 years to get it all certified, made. They could only get it made in England because of the high-tech process. England's always been at the top of the chain when it comes to water purification because they're an empire, needed purified water. The point is they've got the factories that can make this. So designed in the U.S., made in England, and it's available right now at InfoWarsStore.com. Okay, tell folks, because I've talked to so many people from Ukraine, people from China, people from other areas of Eastern Europe, where they come and take the guns, and then next your family starts disappearing. Stalin did that. Took him to the 30s to start getting the guns, and then it was a mass culling. Tell folks what happened to your family.
Okay, Alex, all I can say is the cost of disarming the people psychologically, physically, spiritually is staggering. And those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it, because I've experienced it myself, and the government is probably, although they've given me a new identity here in the United States, and I always promised myself I would never get involved, but it's come to this where I need to speak out because my children's future are at stake. But I mean, they're hoping that, those who have died in the Vietnam War and those who are still alive are maybe too old to fight, but guess what? There's still voices out there. And I'm one of the voices that I've experienced it.
What happened to your family?
Well, my grandfather was assassinated, and my whole family, we're only 3 of us that are survivors here in the United States, but all of them were systematically killed trying to leave the country, trying to speak up for their rights, and basically, it's terrible. And if people don't wake up now to see this, they're going to be.
Where were you? In Eastern Europe, Middle East, Asia?
No, Vietnam.
Vietnam. Oh, so your family was trying to get out. What, in the early 70s?
Yes, sir.
And was this after they left Saigon, or was this before you couldn't get out?
This is after, or actually at the end of the where they were starting to pull out everyone. And
of course, for those that don't know, that they said, the North Vietnamese, turn your guns in, we'll give you amnesty. What happened when you turned the guns in? We're going to come back to you after this.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
The new year is a great time to take charge of your health and wellness. Get serious and make a stand with Supernatural Silver. This is a breakthrough in silver technology that is several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. Supernatural Silver can be taken orally every day to help fight bacteria, viruses, infections, yeast, and molds. Supernatural Silver is also exceptional for wound care and is highly effective for water purification. It is the #1 choice for thousands of people for immune system support, and it is also a perfect choice for your emergency preparedness. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Check out our new low prices and like us on Facebook.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Coming up in the start of the next segment, James O'Keefe of the Veritas Project. You know him for bringing down Acorn and so much more. Going to be joining us. We're taking a few more of your calls right now. You know, they took the guns in Turkey and then killed over 1 million Armenians after they took their guns. That's just one of the smaller cases. Pol Pot, the list goes on and on. Hitler, Stalin. But you're saying your family was in southern Vietnam after the U.S. pullout, and I've read the history. Tell people briefly, John, then we'll go to others, the history of what happened. Because I remember reading, they told people, turn your guns in, we'll give you an amnesty, everything's fine. What happened once the guns were turned in?
Well, they systematically started killing everyone that was against the government. Actually, I was born in Da Nang, and my grandfather was a politician there, and he was killed publicly. And the rest of our family was killed for being, part of the family. And it's just the loss. People don't realize the loss that they're going to experience if they follow through and they don't speak up now and pull together.
By the way, I've been around all these so-called leftists. They say the plan is to kill us once they get our guns. I mean, these are monsters. These are not liberals.
Oh, the war's already been on. You are absolutely right. I mean, they've been working on us, psychologically, spiritually, and physically. And as an educator, I'm telling you, I know I work with IDD children, and I'm telling you, there's no way in heck a couple that are healthy and everything, and they keep on telling you that, oh, it's genetics. It's not genetics. There's something that they're doing. It's a slow kill, and this is a culling, call it whatever you like, but it's a depopulation program that has been going on for years, and it's ridiculous. And I'm just at the point where the best defense right now is to speak out, and everybody needs to get out and talk to your neighbors and get everybody on board.
No, you're right. The globalists are all obsessed with organic and purified water. They won't eat anything. The GMO, the vaccines, it's all a giant eugenics operation. God bless you, and thanks for your testimony. George in Pennsylvania, thanks for holding. You're on the air. Go ahead. What do you think of Feinstein and coming for all the semi-autos and more?
I'd like to cover one other thing first. On the vaccines, the government has a website, Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, VAERS at HHS.gov, where if you have problems with the vaccine, you're supposed to report it.
But no one knows that, so they don't report it, or if they do, they try to cover it up quietly, yes.
You might have a link on your site. One other thing about the vaccines, there's a group of mostly physicians with vaccine-damaged children, autism.com. It's Autism Research Institute, and it has a lot of listings there on things you can do when the kids do get damaged with vaccines, how to recover them, at least partially. Second thing is we need to group together. I agree with that, and I think maybe political correctness on your part would be a good thing. How about a constitutional recovery fund or something to curb the illegal activities of the judges and the politicians? We still have a process in place, and I think we could be using it if you...
well, look, they're on the news saying all gun owners are racist scum. The entire South is filth. But then they're the politically correct people. No, they're a bunch of political monsters obsessing on race because they use it as a weapon. I mean, Lego can't even put out Jabba the Hutt toys now without the Muslims in Europe saying it's racist. I mean, this is a way to attack us and tell us we're bad. And I'm not bashing Muslims in general, the politically correct type. This is a cultural domination. And then they're like, hey, be nice, have some hospitality. Let the globalists run over you. We've got to get angry and get out of a cowed position. They're always telling us we're suspect, we're racist, we're bad, we have guilt, we've done something wrong. Give them control because we're bad. Let them in, let them boss us, give us their money. They're intimidating us until we give in to them, because the government's run by a bunch of raging criminals. And I hear you. I don't know how it's politically correct to have a Constitution Recovery Fund. Okay, our guest is coming up. Most of you know who they are. I'm just so excited to get them on. James O'Keefe, the Veritas Project. Straight ahead. Stay with us.
You prepare by purchasing gold, food, and firearms. But if you don't have a home security system, then you're missing a critical weapon in your arsenal for home protection. When you're sleeping or away from home, who's watching out for intruders? Check out Simply Safe. It's a new do-it-yourself home security system that is completely wireless. Go to GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is independent and off the grid. It runs on battery power, so even if the grid goes down, you're protected. It's completely customizable, so you can use it in your home, business, boat, trailer, storage unit, or shed. GetSimplySafe.com. Simply Safe is also ridiculously easy to install yourself in under 20 minutes. So there's no need to let a stranger into your home. If you move or need to relocate, you can take the system with you wherever you go. You aren't always at home, but Simply Safe will stand guard, protecting your property 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, that's GetSimplySafe.com.
Millions of people are going to get sick this winter from colds, flu, and other illnesses. Don't be one of them. Protect yourself with Supernatural Silver, a revolutionary new broad-spectrum antibacterial solution. Recent advances in silver technology have resulted in a silver solution that can be used daily to prevent bacteria, viruses, mold, and food poisoning, and help improve wound healing. Supernatural Silver is safe enough to consume every day, while powerful enough to destroy the causes of many serious diseases, such as strep, staph, pneumonia, colds, flus, and other harmful pathogens. This new technology has the ability to terminate entire colonies of harmful bacteria at several hundred times the effectiveness of colloidal or ionic silver solutions. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and use the promo code SILVER2012 for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
Sick of the globalists, eugenicists, control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at Infowars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center and the heart of the resistance.
Rallying patriots worldwide, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, blasting out on XM over 140 AM and FM affiliates, the internet at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, streaming video at PrisonPlanet.tv and Infowars Nightly News, InfoWarsNews.com. Now, I got to play a few clips to introduce this guy, and for whatever reason over the years, I tried to get him on, didn't get connected, but we've got him on now. And everybody listening probably knows who this individual is, or you know of his work. And this is the model. I've done a lot of similar things over the years when I was just out doing investigations, but none of them ever exploded like this. But we had some big victories. And this guy and his team is the model In fact, I just want to say on air, I haven't told him this yet, he ought to make a how-to be a real muckraking journalist for liberty. He ought to make a film about it, showing how it's done. Because what he does, the corrupt that run this system, and I've said this for many years, you can, I'm going to introduce our guest here in a moment and play some clips first. You can go and fight the globalists, the collectivists, especially Democrats for whatever reason. You can go follow them in their car when they're doing corrupt things, and they will always be doing something horrible. I mean, it's hard to not catch them. I've caught bribery at the state capitol. Just goes on everywhere. Paying guys cash. The bill got defeated. It was in the front page of the newspaper. And that was back in 1999. Just type in Alex Jones catches bribery. I've done more than 50 or 60 things just like this. Not because I'm some great investigator. The corrupt do this right out in front of you. Okay? The corrupt do this right out in front of you. And you've just got to go out and expose them and have the courage. But if we just engage these people, it's over. James O'Keefe is the president of Project Veritas. I was saying Veritas Project, no teleprompter. James O'Keefe is a graduate of Rutgers University. He has received a congressional resolution praising him for his work and a recipient of the Robert Novak Award for Journalistic Excellence. He's best well known for the 2009 Acorn investigation, which exposed systematic corruption in multiple offices. Different cities, different areas. You walk in and go, I have an underage prostitute I snuck in the country. We're going to play a clip of that. And I want to, sell her out. How do I keep her under the radar? Well, just make sure you put her in school so the government gets theirs, but everything's fine. Going to pimp her good. And force the group to be disbanded, losing them billions of dollars a year. And that was one of their big syndicate takeovers. He's also exposed NPR. The sting involved NPR executive Ron Schiller and senior director Betsy Lilly. The two agreed to receive $5 million donation from a fictitious Muslim organization. The two executives later resigned. The House of Representatives voted to defund NPR. And again, folks, people don't believe I snuck into Bohemian Grove. They just can't believe I got in there and did it. You've never tried things. People can't believe. You have power is my point. That's what I want you to understand. You are the ones that are going to defeat these people. And the model is somebody like James O'Keefe. The project, Veritas.org, theprojectveritas.org. And, of course, it's supported by patriots like you, so go there and do that. Through Project Veritas, James has personally trained and equipped dozens of citizen journalists in an effort to create transparency in government and spending. And, of course, that's what their job is. But I'm saying put it out to everybody, which I know they've done some of. Now let's play something he's not well known for. And since then, there's new clips of Christians going up to abortionists and saying, hey, let us adopt the babies. And they go, you don't want the ugly black babies. But you're racist if you don't want them aborted. Remember that, because it's racist to want to save them. And it's racist if you don't like the communist Chinese and Apple suicide nets if you want to save the Chinese little girls. You're liberal if you just let them all die. See, the liberals are eugenicists. I made the film Endgame exposing that. So let's go to this first clip, then a short clip of the next, then we'll do the rest of the hour with our guest. But it's so exciting, okay, because I've been doing this type of thing for 17 years. He's been doing it, I don't know, for 6, 7 years. We're going to talk to him in a moment. James O'Keefe of theprojectveritas.org. But let's go ahead and go to this first clip of him calling in to Planned Parenthood. This has been duplicated by others. Planned Parenthood was set up to, quote, kill the black weeds. Margaret Sanger, John D. Rockefeller. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
Good afternoon, this is Autumn.
Hello, Autumn. I'm interested in making a donation today.
Fantastic.
What about abortions for the underprivileged minority groups?
Oh, absolutely. We have, in fact, wonderful, fantastic news. We just received a very generous donation to our Women in Need Fund.
Wonderful. I want to specify that abortion to help a minority group. Would that be possible?
Absolutely.
Like the black community, for example?
Certainly.
Okay. So the abortion could be, I could give money specifically for a black baby. That'd be the purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to designate that you wanted your gift to be used to help an African-American woman in need, then we would certainly make sure that gift was earmarked specifically for that purpose.
Great, because I really face trouble with affirmative action, and I don't want my kids being disadvantaged, against black kids. I just had a baby. I want to put it in his name, Yeah. Absolutely. So that's definitely possible.
Oh, always, always.
So I was wondering, can I put this in the name of my son?
Absolutely.
The name of my son, great. He's trying to get into colleges.
All right, let's stop right there. You can go online and go to the Veritas Project and see that report in full and others. And I have protested back when I had more time to do it. I'm protesting on air now. Abortion clinics. And here in Austin, also in Dallas. And I've had them walk up to me and they go, no one wants these black babies. These people are a problem. And I'm telling you, most liberals at that level are not liberals. These are flaming racist. See, real racists aren't wearing Klan outfits. Usually those are feds, meaning to make gun owners racist or something. The real ones are trendies. I want to go to our guest. We'll play the famous clip of him dressed as a 70s pimp, totally obvious with an underage girl, telling him she's underage, and discussing how to get the tax exemptions and things for his pimping operation and how to run little girls into the U.S., You've all seen that, so I won't play it now. We'll get to it later in some other clips. James O'Keefe, great to have you on. Again, I just salute you. You were on the Nightly News with Jakari Jackson last week. You just heard the comments I made about liberals saying how much they want to kill the black people while saying all gun owners are racist against blacks. How did you wake up to all of this? And let's just get into where you see the state of this country right now.
Well, Alex, I think I was going to be on your show 5 or 6 years ago. We did that Planned Parenthood investigation with a young woman named Lila Rose. And we called up, I'd say about 7 or 8 Planned Parenthoods across the country. And I had heard about Margaret Sanger, who was a eugenicist back in the early part of the 20th century. And we called up these Planned Parenthoods, and it's right before you cut the clip, the vice president of Planned Parenthood actually said that it's understandable and exciting to abort black children, because I said there were too many. I was acting. I said there were too many black people in this country, and we need to abort them, is what I said to Planned Parenthood. And the vice president of Planned Parenthood resigned. And it was a national story at the time. And that kind of got me into thinking that the way to expose malfeasance and corruption and fraud is to kind of just take it right to them and make them live up to their own principles. And that's sort of what we do at Project Veritas. We make people live up to their own book of rules, which is right out of Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals.
I remember, in fact, I interviewed people 6 or 7 years ago about this. Have I interviewed you then?
We were going to connect, and for whatever reason, we just didn't connect.
I just remember playing the clip at the time because, listen, it's not like you're trying to find a 4-leaf clover and there's only a few of them that are eugenicists. I'm saying about 80% of mid-level or higher-ups I run into will go, listen, we got to get rid of these black people. Stop protesting. What's wrong with you? You're white. And now more and more videos of that have surfaced. You don't want ugly black babies. The point is, I want the left out there, the mainline left who's idiots, to understand these people are monsters. Go ahead.
Oh, we found it. I mean, it's all on tape. I let the people speak for themselves. We called the New Mexico clinic. This is Planned Parenthood, New Mexico. And when I said, and I'm acting, of course, I'm acting like a racist. And I say, well, it's terrible what's going on in our country with black people and affirmative action. And this Planned Parenthood vice president said to me in New Mexico, she said, it's a strange time for sure. And this is what she's caught on tape saying when she does not know that she's being videotaped. And it really cuts to the heart and soul. Why do they put all the clinics in the inner city neighborhoods? And what's really remarkable, Alex, is that the media tries to ignore it. But what the good thing about Project Veritas is because we get results, because these people resign or they're forced to resign, the Associated Press does not have a choice but to write coverage about it, and that's how it kind of gets it. And Lila has gone on to do a lot of other videos. She did a video on Planned Parenthood and statutory rape. That got on CBS News. So the interesting thing about what we do as citizen journalists is that we force this stuff into the mainstream media, and I think that more people need to do that.
Being around these people, infiltrating them, I've discovered they're almost all really sick people and criminals, or a mix of the two. In all your investigations, I mean, I found it's not like it's hard to find this. This is a really group of vicious people. And do you agree that the biggest hoax ever is that the liberal establishment is liberal? They're not. They're a bunch of monsters.
I've found it, the word that I use, and a lot of people think that it's absurd. I think it's fascism. They don't. In my experience as a citizen journalist, I have been arrested. I have been falsely accused. I did a voter fraud expose last year on Eric Holder and a number of states giving out voting ballots in the name of other people. And for these are facts. I deal in fact as a journalist. And exposing this stuff on videotape, the reaction is always arrest O'Keefe, prosecute O'Keefe, silence O'Keefe, censor him, silence him, arrest him. And that to me is not a liberal mentality. There's nothing liberal about wanting to jail journalists. And this is not, this is just, I'm being straightforward. I was arrested in New Orleans.
Let's talk about that. We're going to break. Riveting live interview with James O'Keefe from theprojectveritas.org.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Do you know how much the dollar has lost in its value against other currencies in the last 90 days? Ever think about how inflation will change your life, your savings, your retirement plans? Remember inflation in Zimbabwe, Argentina, the Weimar Republic? Put another way, who cares if your investments go up 10%, but you lose 40% of your purchasing power? Gold is the only monetary asset as no one else's liability. Gold still buys the same amount of stuff it always did. Gold does not require trust in a third party. You can possess it in your hand. You can take it with you. Gold is real money. Gold is honest money. My name is Daniel Larson from Midas Resources. To find out how you can protect your savings and roll over your IRA funds into precious metals accounts, please call me at 800-686-2237, extension 134. That's 800-686-2237, extension 134. 800-686-2237, extension 134.
It's time for a home security quiz. Answer this. What effective home security device is smaller than a coffee cup, fakes out burglars into thinking someone is home at your house while you're away, plugs into any wall outlet, is recommended by many police departments, and sells for less than $35? Yes, it's Fake TV. This year, about 1 in every 50 U.S. homes will have a break-in, with burglars usually picking the easy target, a dark house that looks like no one is home. Fake TV is a small electronic security device that makes it look like someone is home watching TV by simulating the light from a real TV. It's like a lamp on a timer, but far more convincing. And for only $34.95, Fake TV could be the difference between coming home to a secure house or one that's been ransacked. Go to faketv.com or call 1-877-5-FAKE-TV. That's 877-532-5388 or go to faketv.com. Fake TV, the burglar deterrent.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this for the first time and you think this is hyperbole, there are scores of clips on their website of Acorn people saying, yeah, we'll help you do this illegal thing. We'll help you run child prostitutes. We'll help you do that. And this is just how the system works. And they want to make every city like the big Chicago, New York mafia-style systems. And we need to have the people in Chicago and New York and other cities stand up against this. And the way to do it, if you were to follow a Planned Parenthood person, let's say you work next door to a bar, and walk over and record them, make sure it's a state where you have one-party consent, saying, hey, we need to kill the black people. Why do you work there? They're going to agree to you. Now, they've all been told don't talk about it on the phone when you call. And how it's a great civil right and, you know, all this stuff. The point is, these people, all of them, are so sick that if you just engage them, they're all involved in bizarre behavior. Going back to our guest, this is a short segment, long segment coming up. We'll play some clips during it. James O'Keefe, the head journalist of the Project Truth, Project Veritas, continue. You were talking about how they're authoritarians, how they're always wanting you arrested for exposing their activities.
Exactly. There have been a number of occasions where I've been subpoenaed. Most famously, there was a huge story where I was in New Orleans investigating Senator Mary Landrieu, and she was not answering her constituents' phone calls during the healthcare debate in 2010. Went into the federal building with a camera, a recording device, and as you pointed out, one-party consent state, so it's legal to do it in Louisiana. But I was in a federal building. I was arrested. And they were going to let me go as a journalist. There's, oh, you're just there to ask questions. And then they found out that I was the Acorn pimp. I went into Acorn posing as a pimp and hooker. And they said, well, you know, based on the senator and these other situations, we're going to have to keep you overnight in federal prison. And then I wake up the next day and I find myself charged with some ridiculous felony. I had to get a lawyer, spent 6 months fighting it, finally got it down to a misdemeanor. The U.S. attorney resigned in disgrace just recently for going online, and it's just so corrupt. And I've been as a citizen journalist, I'm not like David Gregory. I'm not immune from being prosecuted for committing crimes but it's just unbelievable what they want to censor us and silence us and even jail us for exposing them on tape. And the good news is I'm still standing, and we haven't given up, and we've got a ton of stories under our belt. We're developing a track record now.
Talk about some of the other intriguing investigative reports you put out that haven't gone mega viral, that people may not be aware of.
Sure. After the Acorn story, the NPR story was on the front page of all the major newspapers, but after that we did a story on Medicaid entitlement programs in this country. We went into Medicaid offices in Ohio, Virginia, and Maine, and we said that we were Russian drug dealers. We said that we wanted to bring. We talked about pimping girls. We talked about importing exotic sports cars and putting drugs in. And we said we just want Medicaid, even though we're multimillionaires.
See something, say something. Like the Social Security Administration sending hundreds of millions to one address in Austin, knowing it's a fraud, but then literally the police are told to spy on gun owners and we're criminals.
And in the case of Medicaid, what the woman actually told us, and this is on YouTube, it's got 100,000 views, is I said, you know, what are we going to call our illicit drug business? And she said, just call it, just say that you're a babysitter. And she was fired. This worker in Medicaid was fired, and the state of Ohio said they were going to retrain all their workers. We did it in Virginia. We got the same response. The Medicaid worker told us not to put it down on our forms. We did it in Maine. The governor of each state launched an investigation.
There is a criminal culture to liberals. I've got to be honest. Again, I don't like the Republicans either, but downright local Democrats, when you really get near them, they're crooks.
As evidenced by the videos that we've produced, they certainly don't have a problem with helping give money, give government.
Telling somebody to falsify forms to cover up drug dealing is a crime.
That's absolutely right. And by the way, the police have gotten involved. They have Cuccinelli in Virginia. He launched a criminal investigation and criminal probe, and then most recently with our voter fraud video in Virginia. Many people, your listeners may know this story. It was all over the mainstream media, but Congressman Jim Moran's son resigned in October over telling one of our undercover reporters how to vote twice to elect President Obama, forging utility bills, voting in the names of other people. So this is a congressman's son who was his field director. His name is Patrick Moran. He resigned, and the police got involved. The detective in Arlington County called me, wanted me to cooperate with this investigation, and then I find out this detective might be bought and sold by the congressman. So it's really, it's difficult being a citizen, John.
We'll be right back. This is amazing.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Looking back on 2012, we ask ourselves, how did we ever survive? From natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy and the devastating summer drought to the family hardships brought on by a disastrous economy. Our hearts go out to those that have lost everything. At eFoods Direct, we hear from customers every day that are fortunate enough to weather life's storm by having a supply of food on hand. After Hurricane Sandy, Danny from New York City wrote, almost all of the grocery stores are closed, but I managed to get my eFoods just in time to be able to help my sister and niece. It is better to be prepared 10 years too early than one day too late. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Heed the warnings and do what Alex has done. Call 800-409-5633 today or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and build your food supply. It's the best tasting, non-GMO, long-term storable food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com.
It's mind control. Mind control. Corruption of your thoughts, yeah. Destruction of your soul. Mind control. It's mind control, yeah. Corruption of your thoughts, yeah. Destruction of your soul. Don't let them hold your mind.
I know we've had some callers holding for the last hour. You'll get a chance to bring up your gun issue and also ask our amazing guest a question. Again, Alex Jones here back live. James O'Keefe of the Project Veritas, Project Truth, is on with us, theprojectveritas.org. Of course, our sites are Infowars.com, and the nightly news is transmitted out via prisonplanet.tv. And by the way, one membership for $5.95 a month now is 11 memberships. Your membership and 10 other people simultaneously can use the same username and passcode. So use an original username passcode that's simple, and then give it to friends and family, because you probably give it to like 20 people. there's no way that usually all 11 people are going to be tuned in at 7 o'clock every night when InfoWars Nightly News goes on. That's part of Operation Awaken the Sleeping Giant. We will officially launch the $100,000 film. I've gotten so behind with all the gun grabbing and all the tyranny we're facing that I have not launched the big $100,000 contest for films yet. We should have done that like 3 weeks ago. But we're going to launch it with a film promo tomorrow. On the show, premiered here. I shot the video, wrote the rules, went over it with legal. It's $115,000 in cash prizes, $100,000 first place. That will be announced tomorrow on the radio. I know I said I would announce it a few weeks ago and never got to it because, quite frankly, everything comes secondary to free speech and the Second Amendment. I mean, when that's getting attacked, you notice I haven't even been plugging products or things until last week. And a little secret about radio, most of the real funding of the syndicated show itself is what they do live on air. You listen to most talk show hosts, it's into the show with a plug, out of the break with a plug, 5, 6, 7 plugs an hour. And quite frankly, I should be doing a couple hour because that's how I can fund this operation. They're like, hey, there's not a lot of money coming in, better plug stuff. Plus, I plug things I believe in, like the new Infowars.com, come and take it, shirt with an AK-47, and inside of it, the words, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And also, 2 years in the making, designed by scientists and engineers in the U.S., now made in England with the latest technology, and 2 years being built and approved and certified. Read all that information and side-by-side. Gravity-fed filtration system by ProPure. It's called Pro One, and it is 2 filters in one. It's got the silver-based system impregnated with silver and ceramic. Under it, the system's to reduce down to 95% hydrofluorosilicic acid. The big secret is the other leading filters, and we've sold these with ProPure because it's good to get most of it out. Only get around half of it out because the hydrofluorosilicic acid goes right through it. This 95%. Okay, this is amazing. In fact, the other filters don't even really do anything to hydrofluoric acid, but it tends to break back down. The point is, it loses its electron. Or no, they pull an electron and then add it. All the science stuff's up on the site. This is a revolution. We are the biggest distributor of ProPure because I did my own research 2 years ago and got them as a sponsor. You notice for a year I didn't have a gravity-fed sponsor because the quality, unfortunately, with some of them out there just wasn't even good enough for me to promote it. You hear ads on the network where I've already been approached and offered $500,000, in a year to promote this. I go, no, I'm not going to promote it. I don't believe in it. If I believe in something, you're going to hear me promoting it. And this is an amazing system, ProPure. Infowarsstore.com, Infowarsstore.com, or 888-253-3139. And it's 10% off on all the stainless steel systems, the Traveler, the Big, the King, all of it. And 10% off even the new filters that are launching today. Today, made in England. Not even factories that can make this in the United States or places like China or India. You can see right there on the filter it says made in England. So there you go. All right, enough of me ranting and raving about that. It's just that your purchase makes the transmission possible. So Infowarsstore.com or 888-253-3139. Films like Strategic Relocation and others that I produced, also available at Infowarsstore.com. Or to understand the eugenics angle, Infowarsstore.com with Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. I want to go to this pimp clip in a moment, but continuing here with our guest, James O'Keefe of the Project Veritas. What else do you want to impart to viewers and listeners about the state of the world right now? I mean, I think the biggest thing I would ask you is, what is your rallying cry? Because, your rallying cry just from truth is what mine is. Evil men and tyrants flourish because good men and women do nothing. These people, a lot of these people that run the system are really stupid, but it's our weakness in bowing down to government that empowers them. It's the ether in which these slugs thrive. You've got the floor, my friend.
Well, one thing that's unique about Project Veritas is that I don't advocate policy solutions. I don't tell people who to vote for. I don't tell people what to believe. I'm a strong believer in the following statement. I believe I have an infinite faith in the power of free people, that if they're just making their own decisions, if they have the truth available to them, that they will make the best decisions to create a great, lasting, and moral society. I think we need more journalism. We need more people exposing the facts. And the fact of the matter is that there aren't a lot of journalists. There are a lot of stenographers, people who, you know, they write down what the politicians say at the podium, or pundits, people who are, you know, on television, or they take pre-existing content. But Alex, one thing I actually admired you did, I must have seen this video maybe 8 years ago, but on YouTube you went into the DMV and you they asked you for identification. You took out 8 pieces of identification. What you were doing is important. I mean, that's a direct action. You went in there and you taped it. You exposed something. We need more people doing journalism, pure journalism. And I think that people are smart enough. This recent video we did on the guns in New York and the people publishing gun owners, I went up to the journalists and I asked them, would you put a sign on your lawn that says that your home is gun-free?
By the way, let me stop you there. That's the original reason I wanted to get you on last week. Start over, and the video is on your website. It's amazing. In fact, we can probably play some here for viewers while he's talking, and then I have the pimp clip. But, I mean, this shows their incredible hypocrisy. The truth is they've got guns. They've got bodyguards. Their kids go to schools with armed men like David Gregory. So start over and tell people about that.
Sure. I was inspired to do this because of David Gregory and because I have been arrested and falsely accused and faced political prosecution, and the judge destroyed my videotape so that no one knows what I actually did in Louisiana. But when David Gregory on NBC News brought a magazine into the studio, which is a felony in Washington, D.C., and he was not prosecuted. In fact, the D.C. Attorney General released a statement, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, and the district, I actually have it in front of me here, he said that it was a clear violation of the law, what Gregory did. But it didn't, quote, serve the best interests of the people, unquote, to prosecute David Gregory. Now, he does have prosecutorial discretion. But
so he's Judge Dredd now. They tell juries we can't judge the law and the facts, which, of course, we can. But the police, especially high-level ones, they're not supposed to do that. It's a grand jury, and it's the people. Well, that is. I know I've done a lot of constitutional law research. What that prosecutor did, I think was wrong.
I think it's wrong because I think the Supreme Court says equal justice under law. And if I did that, for purposes of a YouTube video, if I brought a magazine in the District of Columbia from an AR-15, I'd be prosecuted. No question.
If I did, I'd be arrested. You know it.
There is a different... So I'm just getting to what inspired me to do this video, which I think is important, is the fact that there's a different class of people. The politicians, the journalists, they consider themselves protected from the law, and then I got to thinking, now what if I made them live up to their own principles? And I went to okay, you obviously don't like guns, so will you advertise that to the public? Will you put a sign on your lawn that says this house is proudly gun-free? Because journalists, you're willing to advertise to the world who owns a gun. You're willing to publish law-abiding gun owners. Therefore, you should have no problem with doing it.
They're terrorists. They're not journalists. They're saying the South is all scum. Gun owners are scum. Publishing where we live that we have guns. It's time to get angry at these people. I mean, that newspaper needs to be sued. We need to get aggressive with them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I mean, my way of doing that is by exposing them. I think that we need to. I went to their homes. I mean, there's nothing more aggressive than going to somebody's house and knocking on the door. And I went to their homes with a camera. They didn't know they were being taped. And I said, to the publisher of the Westchester Journal-News, that's the newspaper that printed all the gun owners in Westchester County. I live in Westchester, New York. That's where I'm from. I'm only a few miles away from these people. And we said, would you post this sign on your lawn? Nobody would post the sign. In fact, if you watch the video, the most extraordinary thing about this YouTube video is that all these editors and reporters are justifying the Second Amendment. They're pro-gun. They just don't know it. Instinctively, their human nature informs them that they don't want to tell people they're gun-free. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. My message at Project Veritas is that I have faith in free people if they're just given the facts that they know what's good for them and their families.
Well, I'll say this. They're trying to physically make us turn our guns in, register them, ban them. They're assaulting us. And our founders, physically went after them. We need to just go and get in their faces at public events. If they're publishing people's names and where they live, we need to go to their house and say, hey, I'm out here with a bullhorn, buddy. Anybody who got your name published, in the newspaper. They assaulted your privacy. They told criminals who to go rob. It's time to go to their houses and bullhorn them, and to come back the next day and bullhorn them. And when the cops show up, videotape it and go, officer, here's my name in the newspaper where I live and I have a gun. I have a First Amendment right to be here and do this. And then if they arrest you, you sue them because of the hypocrisy. I mean, it's time to get aggressive. Here's an example. 1996. They are taking veterans' homes, $2,000 a day fines. They had some registry at the hospital, I discovered. I learned this from hospital workers, that they would know when somebody had bad cancer or had a heart attack and was a widow or widower. They would then go to the nice home in the $1 million area that they wanted to get and force into foreclosure. They'd put $2,000 a day fines on it for 3-inch grass. Well, a good cop called me and said, hey, I know where all the city council people live. A bunch of them have like 3-foot grass in the middle of the city, holes in the roofs. I don't know why they did. So I went to Jackie Goodman's house and others, went to the health department, showed they had like foot-tall grass and trash on the ground, and said, okay, let's put $2,000 fines on you. And they dropped all these fines on old people. Here's the problem. My phone, I was one guy, two guys, ringing with old people having their houses taken for 2-inch grass. And they always were like, let me ask you, you have a heart attack? You can't walk? Yeah. Oh, you just got out of the hospital last week and the notices are coming? Let me guess, you got, so you're dying of cancer. Yeah, I got a few months to live. Yeah, they just want your house. They want to lean on it. I mean, that's a mafia right there. And you know what? I bet it's still going on. That's the frustration. We need 50 Alex Joneses in Austin. We need 50 in Rochester, New York. We need 100 in Chicago. I mean, people are being abused, folks. And folks go in and turn their TVs on and watch sitcoms at night, and they don't know the old lady's having their house stolen. Go ahead, I'm ranting.
No, I would respect if these journalists, for example, would put the signs on their lawns. I would at least respect that because they would be philosophically consistent. But the fact that they're inconsistent, the fact that they're like they would be willing to publish gun owners but be unwilling to advertise themselves as not owning guns. We went to MSNBC's Toure. Toure is a commentator on MSNBC, and he was unwilling to post the sign. He was stumbling and stuttering when we asked him to. He said, "You know what? I don't know if I want to do that." And that's what makes them frauds and cowards. And nobody likes a fraud or a coward.
And nobody rides for free either. I'm sick of these slugs feeding off of us.
And what we tried to do, we want to measure the courage of their convictions. Do they actually believe in this thing? And at the end of the video, one of the most telling, I think this is the most fascinating thing about the video, is that one of the reporters for the New Jersey Star-Ledger, who supported outing gun owners and printing their names and addresses, told us that he hates guns, he wishes they were banned and everything, but this is his words, he says, when the right wing takes over the government, we need to be armed to defend ourselves from that government. So even though he's putting an ideological spin on it, he's actually making some type of justification for the Second Amendment.
But they're so dumb, they don't get that right-wing, left-wing's control at the top. There's going to be Republicans in later. No, liberals I all knew went out and bought guns under Bush. And now they're like, let's turn them in. It's just mindlessness. These people have no sense. And you know what? I want to hold you, if you can do it, a little bit in the next hour and go into overdrive, because I've promised to go to phone calls. And I want to play some of these reports of you going and doing the guns. Can you do 30 minutes more into the next hour?
Sure. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. I want to play now, though, the pimp clip. Do we have that queued up? Yeah, because we're going to go to the pimp clip first. Because this is what you're more, I mean, this is super mega viral for months. Brought down Acorn, got it defunded. How many billions did it get defunded?
It was allocated $5 billion in the stimulus package, and of course they went bankrupt after the videos, so they weren't given any of that.
Tell people a little bit more about that case if they may have forgotten.
Sure. Acorn Association of Community Organized for Reform Now. President Barack Obama was an attorney for Acorn, I believe in the 80s or 90s. Acorn, it has a couple different branches, but they help. They claim to help giving low-income housing for people. What they mostly do is they get out the vote efforts. They help with voter registration drives. What we wanted to uncover was, what exactly this group is doing, where its money goes. We visited Acorn branches across the United States, and I posed as a pimp. Of course, I'm not the most pimp-like individual, but I
No, but welfare and all this, because I've talked to people involved, it's all designed for fraud. You can go in and get 20 kids signed up. You can go in and they want control and they want to bankrupt the country. Let's go to this clip where you're saying, this is my underage girl I brought in from another country. I want to bring in more. They're like, hey, we'll help you falsify everything. Just make sure she's in school. Here it is.
Cops on us before.
Right, and anything that's, anything that's in Maryland, anything that's not government approved is always against the law. That's rule number one.
Yeah.
But do you fill out your taxes? No.
Well, she gets paid mostly in cash.
Yeah.
She makes a lot of money, though, so we could afford
let
something.
me get somebody here for taxes so they can talk to you about how you use it. It's not like that.
Because it's against the law, and no law enforcement is very prejudicial towards us.
But she's going to make us a legal business. That's why she asked about the taxes.
But how can she do that, though?
Because she is good. I'm going to tell you, Tanja, she won't know how you can make it legal. She's really good. She's not going to get in trouble on herself.
The type of business or service you provide. Let me make sure there's a code for it, okay?
A code for prostitution?
Well, yeah, because we have to. I have to have a name and a code number.
Well, I don't know if there's going to be a code.
But I'm going to look in there. I'm going to get my list.
Okay.
She's going to say she's good. That's what I'm saying. She's going to make us a legal business.
Well, how can she do that?
Let me make sure there's a code for it, okay?
A code for prostitution?
Okay, let's see what we got here. Combination food service and drinking places. Business include private medicine service, direction agencies, credit bureaus. You might have to name it something else.
All right. I mean, there's hours of this stuff, and then they get into the underage people they're going to bring in. That's all great. We're going to go to break, come back with our guests, go to some of your calls that have been holding. Jerome in Illinois, Truth Raider in Oregon, and others. Then we're going to go into overdrive with our guest with more straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones.
If you've ever wanted one of our best-selling generators, but were waiting for an offer so crazy you couldn't refuse, then you're not going to want to miss this exciting message. Here's why. Our solar generators provide life-saving electrical power. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no fumes, and produce electricity from the sun. So when the lights go out, you'll always have the power you need. Now, here's the best part. Every year, we accumulate a few solar generators that we just can't sell as new. We put them in a special spot in our warehouse, and we discount them heavily at the end of each year. We call them scratch and dent units, but they're really just like new. Each unit comes with a full factory warranty and special bonuses you just won't believe. Don't wait, they go fast. Go to scratchanddentsolar.com, that's scratchanddentsolar.com. For the craziest offer we've ever made, go to scratchanddentsolar.com, that's scratchanddentsolar.com.
Don't throw away leftovers. Instead, throw all your leftovers, vegetable peels, eggshells, coffee grounds, pizza crusts, and more into the bokashi. If you love to garden and compost but don't like the hassle of turning a compost bin or the smell, then check out the EM Bokashi Food Waste Recycling System from Terraganics. Finally, a way to recycle all your food and plant waste safely and effectively and stop using fertilizers. The EM Bokashi Food Waste Recycling System. Rather than decomposition, the Bokashi system uses fermentation to break down waste, so it takes less time to create nutrient-dense humus for crops or gardens with no turning and no obnoxious odors. To learn more and order your Bokashi online, visit Terraganics.com and click on the orange button. That's Terraganics.com, spelled Terraganix.com, or call 866-369-3678. That's 866-369-3678. Recycle all your food wastes in about 6 weeks with the Bokashi Food Waste Recycling System from Terraganics.com. Terraganics. Life's getting better.
Hi there. My name is Frank Bates. What I'm about to tell you in the next 60 seconds could get me in a lot of trouble. I just created a free video presentation at 123coverup.com that exposes the electricity monopolies and government agencies for what they really are. Incompetent, lying crooks that are counting on your ignorance and fear to keep your power bills criminally high. Some have called this a conspiracy. Others have called it a cover-up, and you will be shocked to find out how deep the conspiracy goes. My video at 123coverup.com exposes the truth and shows you the secret of how I beat them and how you can beat them too. Watch the controversial video that thousands of other smart patriots have already seen in the last 3 months. Go to 123coverup.com and discover one weird trick to slash your power bill and protect your home. Go watch my video now at 123coverup.com before they force me to shut it down. Again, that's 123coverup.com.
All right, in this segment, the next, we're going to take some calls with folks that have been holding on the Second Amendment with James O'Keefe. Then we'll do 30 minutes with him in overdrive, which a lot of stations carry, into the fourth hour. We always do 3 hours. For a while, I did 4 hours, so we still keep doing the fourth hour sometimes because there's a bunch of other news I want to cover after he leaves us as well. But it's official. They're coming after the handguns, too. And we're going to play some of the clips for radio listeners and TV listeners of James O'Keefe going to Eric Holder's house and saying, will you put up a gun-free zone sign? I mean, Eric Holder is a gangster, folks. I mean, hardcore, Fast and Furious, OKC, involved in it all. And this guy's got gigantic huevos rancheros. James O'Keefe is our guest. Folks have been holding Jerome, Truther, and others. Jerome in Illinois, thanks for holding. You're on the air about the Second Amendment, I believe you called in. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show, Alex. And it's good to hear that there's other people in the world that share my thoughts about gun control. You know, I keep hearing people ask the question about assault weapons. Do Americans really need an assault weapon to defend themselves? And my answer to that question is absolutely yes. I believe we do need assault weapons because it levels the playing field.
That's right. The criminals are going to have them, so we need them. But, I mean, look, they use that debate. It's about enslavement. Let's ask our guest, why do you think they're coming after the guns? I mean, I know the answer I'm going to get.
Oh, and you're asking me why do I think they're coming after, like, AR-15s?
It's because they love you, right? It's they want to help you.
I mean, I think they're coming after them in order to. I think that they are. They may have good intentions, but they're emotional, and they think that they don't understand that when you take away law-abiding gun owners, that you increase crime. Their intentions are on a different plane.
Dianne Feinstein is a crime boss, insider. I mean, look, come on. You're a smart guy. You're not that naive. You know the criminal elements the government want our guns to enslave us. They even admit that in some of their white papers.
Sometimes they do admit it, and you're right. Other times, sometimes they're well-intentioned. They just don't realize the policy outcome of when they do that, when they ban law-abiding people from owning guns.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of the little chicken necks and stuff that, didn't have somebody take them out shooting and things. They're scared of them, I agree. I'm talking about high level. Why does the UN want guns worldwide?
That's beyond my pay grade.
They want to be the only ones with guns. That's their plan.
Yes, that's very true.
I mean, you know about the UN worldwide, what they do? I mean, they line people up in Africa and Latin America and just shoot villages to take their property. On record, they killed 4,000 people in Burma. On record. In the 90s, just went in and killed all the villagers to take their property. The UN is a giant murder crew, but they constantly have every Miss America saying, oh, they're so sweet, they're helping the children. They go in and start the wars, but they're the UN, so it must be okay.
One of the interesting things that I've found in my research, one thing that we're working on right now is the sort of, just like with Planned Parenthood and the racist elements with that, some of the racist elements with gun control. Clarence Thomas wrote a concurring opinion on McDonald v. Chicago, and he goes into the Ku Klux Klan and disarming African-American people and what that means in the inner city communities. And there are some people who are petitioners in the Heller case in D.C. That's a very interesting angle.
No, exactly, and that's why they call guns racist, which makes no sense, is to flip it, because you notice it's the black areas where they always have the gun control, so then only the criminals have the guns and the crime rates explode. They know it's going to make it a crime pit.
And also, a lot of black people are dying because they don't have the ability to defend themselves.
Jerome, anything else from Illinois?
Yeah, one other comment. I also wanted to say that I heard Alan Dershowitz say on Piers Morgan's show that he would be afraid to go into your home and have a disagreement with you because he would feel uncomfortable thinking that you might go for one of your guns. And I would like to ask Alan Dershowitz, how comfortable would he feel if he had a disagreement with it?
Stay there.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Millions of people are going to get sick this winter from colds, flu, and other illnesses. Don't be one of them. Protect yourself with Supernatural Silver, a revolutionary new broad-spectrum antibacterial solution. Recent advances in silver technology have resulted in a silver solution that can be used daily to prevent bacteria, viruses, mold, and food poisoning, and help improve wound healing. Supernatural Silver is safe enough to consume every day, while powerful enough to destroy the causes of many serious diseases, such as strep, staph, pneumonia, colds, flus, and other harmful pathogens. This new technology has the ability to terminate entire colonies of harmful bacteria at several hundred times the effectiveness of colloidal or ionic silver solutions. The Science Digest Journal says silver is our mightiest germ fighter. It is virtually non-toxic and is emerging as a wonder of modern medicine. Go to supernaturalsilver.com today and use the promo code SILVER2012 for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
All right, we're into the fourth hour of Overdrive here on this Thursday edition. And we're joined by James O'Keefe. I get so relaxed by the fourth hour, I stop even pronunciating, sound like I'm drunk. I've been on radio so much and TV so much the last 17 years, probably more airtime than anybody else out there. I just kind of get like, yeah, next guest up, let's go to... I'm like, oh, wait, I'm on the radio. Let me actually pronunciate my words. James O'Keefe, and he heads up the Project Veritas, and we're very excited to have him on with us another 30 minutes. We're going to start taking more of your calls, and then after we're done taking a few calls, we're going to get into some of the other things they're working on right now and play some more of the videos of him going to Eric Holder's house to say, hey, why don't you put a sign up saying you don't own guns? Oh, no, he needs guns to protect himself. There's a lot of other key news up at Infowars.com right now. But Jerome, you were pointing out that Alan Dershowitz, after I was on right before him on Piers Morgan, said, I wouldn't be in that man's home if he disagreed with guns, implying I'm psychopathic and I'm going to kill somebody with a gun. This is a guy that promotes torture, secret arrest, all this stuff. He's a joke in the legal system. He's represented some of the most horrible criminals ever known. And he is a monster, and he's implying I'm violent, I'm bad, because I said, look, foreigner, stop trying to take our guns. But what did you want to say to Dershowitz?
I wanted to ask Alan Dershowitz, how would he feel if he had a disagreement with a dictator and that dictator ordered that he be killed? Because that's what dictators do.
You're absolutely right. Let's take another call with our guest. James O'Keefe, before we do that, do you want to comment on my Piers Morgan appearance or the overall attack on guns? I mean, I think it takes all kinds, to make the world go around, but I think it's good sometimes to get in their faces. If what I did was discrediting the gun owners, which they tried to spin it, why haven't they had me back on other shows? Why was the producer crying and screaming, get out, get out, get out, if it was a defeat for gun owners?
My comment on Piers Morgan is I only wish that Project Veritas went to his house and asked him to put a sign on his lawn, because I've actually done some research, and I actually have both of his addresses out there in California. So I think he has one property in Beverly Hills under a different name. So maybe you might see a video from us in the next week or two coming out on that subject.
Oh, a little sneak peek. You're going to be visiting Piers.
Yeah, maybe.
What, do you need funding for it? I bet you're doing good.
Oh, yes. We do need funding.
How about I underwrite you going to Piers' house, and then I get a plug for Infowars.com. You want some help there?
We might be able to talk about that, yeah.
Maybe I'll go to his house.
But we would like to go to his house, and maybe not that idea, because it might be he may have seen the video, but maybe something else. We'll have to think about it.
Oh, I tell you, of course, Piers can't really come out during the day, though. He is a vampire. So I would, he sucks the rights out of countries. He already did it to England. Now he's run over here. I would not go. I would go during the night if you want him to actually come out.
That's a good idea. Maybe when he gets home, I don't know, when he gets home from for the weekend or something, he's not working very late at night or very early in the morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's well known he won't come out. He's never been hit by sunlight.
Is that so? I didn't know that.
I'm being sarcastic. All right, we're going to go to break. This is a short segment. Come back with Truth Raider and a few others, and then we're going to get into, for folks that haven't seen it on your website, you went to Holder's House, you name it. How did you have the huevos to do that?
It was actually, I have to compliment my reporters. We've got about 18 to 24 people that go out there and do it, and there were three girls that went to his house, and no more than 5 seconds after they knocked on Eric Holder's door, the FBI police showed up.
We're with a newly formed group called Citizens Against Senseless Violence, and we're just trying to get support from folks in the D.C. area to kind of promote the cause, no guns on the street, that kind of thing.
We're going to go to break. Back it up. Great job, guys, having that ready. That was seamless. We're going to come back and take a few calls, then play that, and then recap it. But notice the FBI's there to protect him because he's a big man. You, the common slaves, though, you don't get a gun. So he agrees with the Ku Klux Klan. The commoners don't get guns. Only the big master gets the guns. Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalist on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats. But we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and T-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support our operation as we move to the next level. We need your help to spread the word like never before. They wish to hide themselves during this tectonic battle between the forces of freedom and darkness. You are the response to the globalist technocrats and their program of global eugenics, dehumanization, and ultimate extermination. The war is here. It's an info war. The spirit of 1776 versus the mindset of 1984.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
In this unpredictable world, disaster can strike anyone. That's why an essential part of any emergency survival plan must be stove in a can. When power goes out and gas lines are down, the portable, safe, easy-to-use stove in a can cooks food up to 4 hours and boils water in as little as 5 minutes. Stove in a can comes with everything you need. The stove, fuel, even waterproof matches, all in a compact, durable, heavy-duty container. Plus, the all-natural, non-explosive, 100% waterproof fuel source can be stored indefinitely. Say goodbye to the hassle and danger of propane, lighter fluid, or gas. Stock up now and protect your family with Stove in a Can, starting out at $29.99. Special bundle offers now available with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Order yours today at stoveinacan.com. That's stoveinacan.com.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Yes, and riding shotgun with us from the bottom of the hour, James O'Keefe. He, of course, is the legendary investigative journalist, a young guy as well. In the last 5-6 years has brought down Acre and exposed Planned Parenthood, gotten a bunch of resignations and congressional investigations over NPR. We're going to be going back to him and a few of your phone calls that have been holding, and then we're going to get into his program. We're going to play some audio and video clips here, audio for radio, video for prisonplanet.tv viewers, of going around to Eric Holder's house, the Attorney General, saying, hey, you want our guns, will you turn your guns in, or will you put a gun-free zone sign at your house? And within 30 seconds, the FBI pulls up. So they've got your tax money guarding all their houses. But you're not going to get that. See, they're going to have guns, and they're going to have armed guards and red carpets. But you don't need to have a gun, okay, because they're government. Some of the news up at Infowars.com. Feinstein rolls out draconian attack on the Second Amendment. That's all detailed in the well over 150 guns to be banned, because it says this gun and all others like it. Basically, it's that interpretation. It's so dangerous. Congressman Obama only upholds the Soviet Constitution. Very powerful article that a congressman's come out and basically made some powerful statements. Here are the children murdered by drone attacks at the hands of Obama, showing he could care less about children. Iranian ambassador, only war can stop us now. And Michael Bloomberg's Twilight Zone, key article by Kurt Nemo, women to be drafted under Pentagon plan. That's what all this women in the military thing's about, is they want universal service. But the women will just be the domestic enforcers. That's their own words, the Chicago boss's words when he was at the White House. Missouri law will force gun owners to register with schools. This is the new thing to shame us, as the Attorney General has said. Well, he should be ashamed. But we're going to take a few calls and then get to James O'Keefe's breakdown of going to people's newspapers that publish gun owners' names, saying, why don't you put a sign saying no guns? And going to Holder's house, the Attorney General, that's coming up. But right now, Truth Raider in Oregon, thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy, go ahead.
I've been vaccinated. I'm sick.
Oh, are you Piers Morgan?
No, I'm glad I'm not him. I would have terminal illness if I was that guy.
Okay. Hey, you've been holding a while. What's on your mind, bro?
Well, this is what's frightening. I did a beta test. I went down to my local mall, wore a padded jacket. I walked through, and anytime I say, wow, this is scary, I could have had a Glock 19, a Tech 9, a Ruger, what have you. I could have done business.
Well, you're never going to stop people that want to do bad things. I mean, especially with a sheep-like population. What's your point?
Yeah. I mean, what is going on here? They want to take our guns from us, but then they leave everything open for fair game. Everything is left open. And it's like it's just hunting season. You just everyone's a sitting.
No, that's what they do. And they introduce the hunting season for crazy people is the public schools to go shoot people, where they've disarmed everyone and made sure, hey, here's where the victims are. Let me go back to our guest on that subject, James O'Keefe of Project Veritas, investigative journalist par excellence. What about making the schools gun-free and then advertising and hyping it? I mean, it's like they're hoping for another mass shooting to get our guns.
Well, that's one of the things that I thought about doing with this recent Citizens Against Senseless Violence mockumentary we made on YouTube. I thought about going to the Sidwell School. This is the school where David Gregory's kids go in Washington, as well as Barack Obama's kids go. And I just thought it was too risky because, there's Secret Services there, and it'd just be too risky. They'd probably arrest me immediately. But I would have loved to go to the Sidwell School where David Gregory's kids go and offer them to put a sign up that says this school is gun-free.
But see, that's your First Amendment right. Maybe I should go there and do that. And if they arrest you, it just gets more news coverage. MSNBC and others said people are attacking their kids. No, we're not. Their kids are protected by armed guards. Why are they trying to block our children being protected? Why do they tell them crouch down and wait to be killed? I mean, we're not being aggressive to them. They're trying to make sure we can't protect ourselves. They're trying to make sure we're fair game. They're assaulting us.
Well, maybe you should go to the Sidwell School and do it. You'd have more moxie than me if you chose to do that. I've been arrested, Alex, and I don't have I have to raise the money privately, and it's difficult for us sometimes.
No, I've been arrested quite a few times too, but I mean,
know you have. I know
they always drop the charges because I haven't done anything. I mean, if I went up to the edge of the school and started and saying, I'd like to offer, or knock, hi, I'd like to offer you this sign that you're a gun-free zone. Oh, but you've got guns. Well, why is that?
Why do you have guns? Do you not like children? You want to support the death of children or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and again, in the free country, we'd get arrested. Well, let's talk about this clip, because some stations just joined us. Tell folks what you did again, and then we're going to play the clip of going to the Attorney General's house.
So we posed as this group called Citizens Against Senseless Violence. We posed as an anti-gun group, and we made a little advertising campaign to go along with it, like a little with white T-shirts, and we said, we want to save the children. Guns kill children. Guns are bad. And we went to the homes of politicians, journalists, and Attorney General Eric Holder, MSNBC, Star Ledger, Westchester Journal News. They printed the names of gun owners. And we went to the home of Eric Holder, which is the clip you're about to play, in Northwest Washington, D.C. And within 5 seconds of knocking on Eric Holder's door to put a sign on his lawn that says, "This home is gun-free," the FBI police showed up.
Now, imagine if the public schools had a couple cops at them, or just teachers trained and armed. It would be the same thing. But no, only he gets 24-hour guard service. And
but Alex, not only does Eric Holder get FBI police protection 24 hours, journalists at the Westchester Journal News had 24-hour armed guards protecting their homes as well.
Yeah, I saw that, because the evil gun owners had been calling them, and oh my gosh, they better have armed guards now. I saw that in the news. Did that happen after you went to their houses or before?
That happened before that started happening. There was a program on Fox, Judge Janine. She actually went to 2 of their homes a few days before we did, and she caught the same thing. So they had been there before.
And so they were scared of a Fox TV host, like they were going to come kill them. I mean, again, these people are nuts. And then they have guns protecting them. I mean, it's just... And they always say, oh, Israel doesn't have guns. Don't bring that up. NRA's wrong. Oh, it's wrong to say we're armed. They say we're discredited by bringing this up because it's what discredits them. And they're saying, please, throw us in the briar patch. Stop doing this. They know it's effective. That's why they're telling us, oh, this isn't effective. Stop it. Stop it.
Right. I've even the Washington Post, Alex, put out a piece that was very positive about this recent investigation. So some people in the mainstream media appreciate the fact that we're exposing frauds. I think it's a winning issue when you expose them to be frauds and cowards.
Well, it's more than that. When the Washington Post came out and said, don't publish people's names, this has happened over the last few decades. People always get mad. The Washington Post doesn't want to upset us too much. They're telling the other liberals, we'll get them later. Don't rile them up. Because they're scared of us coming to their houses. They're scared of us pointing out they've got armed guards. They want to shut this down.
They don't want to be. The journalists definitely do not want to be personally exposed. But that's what they've been doing to the public, to us peasants. I call us peasants. That's what they've been doing to the common people for decades. So it's time that we expose the journalists.
Absolutely, it's time. Let's talk to. Well, no, let's go ahead and play this clip. Here's the clip with the group going to Attorney General's house. Home of Eric Holder, U.S. Attorney General, Washington, D.C. Here it is. We're on camera, they say. 3 women. How can I help you? Less than 30 seconds, the police.
We are with a
Federal police.
Called Citizens Against Senseless Violence.
We're a newly formed group.
From folks in the D.C. area to kind of promote the cause, no guns on the street, that kind of thing.
Right. They're not home right now.
You don't know if
They're not home right now.
Signs or anything like that. Because there's nothing in the neighborhood.
They won't, but I don't know about anybody else.
Doors slammed too, signs rejected too.
It's my parents' house, actually. I'm sure they would totally support what we're doing here, because we're not gun owners or anything. I don't know if my father's kind of, I don't know if he want that, to be honest with you. I don't know if he want to advertise.
Thank you.
Why, you don't want us to know that you don't have guns? Because we know you do.
We're assuming this is a gun-free household. I hope that's correct.
Thank you for the visit, but I'm not going to speak on your signs. I appreciate what you're doing, but by the same token, I'm going to pass on the signs.
Yeah, nobody wants to say there's no gun in their house. Besides, they're all going to have guns. They've all got their little commie cards.
Violence, can we sign you up?
No thanks.
Yeah, any particular reason? Are you gun owners?
I agree with you. I don't want to sign
Look, these so-called liberals, these authoritarians are so dumb. They're like, I agree with you. Every home should be gun-free, but no, I'm not taking your sign. Police getting called on them.
Member of the media willing to live up to the strength of their convictions. Now a final parting thought from our good friend Bob Braun at the Star-Ledger, which also wants to target law-abiding gun owners.
We're going to get a nasty note from one of my most progressive friends who says, because I wrote a column, I'm a columnist, and I wrote a column for stricter gun laws, and he said, you're a fool because when the right wing takes over the government, we're going to need guns.
So he's worried the right wing's going to take over and then...
Yeah, and then there won't be guns to fight them back. So then I said to him, but they got the Army, you know, they got the Army and the Navy and the Marines and everything else. And he said, well, he's going to be a revolutionary too, but, you know.
There you go. The insiders are talking about a revolution. This is their revolution to get our guns and take over. Final segment with our guest straight ahead. And we'll give you the website as well to go see all the videos. I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com. And we're streaming video at prisonplanet.tv. Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalist on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats. But we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and T-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support our operation as we move to the next level. We need your help to spread the word like never before. They wish to hide themselves during this tectonic battle between the forces of freedom and darkness. You are the response to the globalist technocrats and their program of global eugenics, dehumanization, and ultimate extermination. The war is here. It's an info war. The spirit of 1776 versus the mindset of 1984.
Looking back on 2012, we ask ourselves, how did we ever survive? From natural disasters like Hurricane Sandy and the devastating summer drought to the family hardships brought on by a disastrous economy. Our hearts go out to those that have lost everything. At eFoods Direct, we hear from customers every day that are fortunate enough to weather life's storm by having a supply of food on hand. After Hurricane Sandy, Danny from New York City wrote, almost all of the grocery stores are closed, but I managed to get my eFoods just in time to be able to help my sister and niece. It is better to be prepared 10 years too early than one day too late. I can warn you, but I can't feed you. Heed the warnings and do what Alex has done. Call 800-409-5633 today or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and build your food supply. It's the best tasting, non-GMO, long-term storable food on the planet. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. You can bet your life on eFoods Direct. HempUSA.org has a newly designed website and a new and improved detoxification product. Order our new microplant powder gold loaded with vitamins, minerals, iodine, and probiotics, and we'll send you our travel-size microplant powder absolutely free. Microplant powder only at HempUSA.org. Call 908-691-2608. That's 908-691-2608. And see what our powders, seeds, and oil can do for you only at HempUSA.org. Hurry, this offer ends January 31st.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Time and time again.
You need to come here and help us. We need assistance, please.
Those we should be able to depend on let us down.
Federal and state and local officials saying help is on the way. Well, the folks here in Bell Harbor say, show me.
Don't depend on the government to save you. Take action now so that you're prepared for the next disaster with MyPatriotSupply.com. Get the best prices on storable food, non-GMO seeds, water filtration devices, home canning equipment, survival and self-reliance books, and more at mypatriotsupply.com. Call 866-229-0927.
We are hurting down here, and we need help immediately.
Before it's time to survive, it's time to prepare. mypatriotsupply.com. mypatriotsupply.com.
Don't worry, this show is documented. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
I fell into a burning ring of fire.
By the way, I've got to spend time trying to make money to fund the syndicated radio show, the crew, the filmmaking, the nightly news, all of it. And you guys have done a great job out there supporting us over the years with the products we sell at Infowars.com. But I got approached last year by one of the, and I wasn't even a big skater, though I did like skateboards. I just wasn't very good at it compared to my friends. We go skate the parking garages, all of it growing up. But, I mean, everybody knows Alien Workshop, probably the name in skateboards. They approached us about 6 months ago and said, would you like to put out a custom line of InfoWars skateboards that come out at the regular price but are custom? And I said, absolutely. So those are now available for sale at InfoWarsShop.com. And they're going to come out with more and more. But custom InfoWars, limited edition, divide and conquer. Look at that artwork, inspired by our work. And they're great artists of the left and right and how they control both Republicans and Democrats. Divide and Conquer Alien Workshop, that's just one of them. And they've got a brainwashing one. And this is just a test. Brainwash skate deck, $49.95. Divide and Conquer, $49.95. I mean, that's a super high-quality skateboard, $49. And you put your wheels on it wherever you custom have there and like. So there you have it, and there's going to be a bunch more coming out, but those are limited edition, available right now at InfoWarsStore.com. James O'Keefe, we got to talk in the next few days off air when you get time and I get time. I mean to get a hold of you for years. Stuff falls to the cracks. I salute what you've done. I salute your work. We've got a lady who wants to talk to you, Susan, real fast in California, who says you inspired her. Susan, real fast, you're on the air with the head of the Project Veritas.
Thank you very much, Alex. And James, I met you a couple years ago at a pro-life walk. You made a very inspiring speech telling everyone that even though we may be small in number at the time, that everyone can make an action that causes a reaction. And because of you, I started speaking up about the problems within Girl Scouts and how they have a very pro-abortion agenda. And actually,
oh, it's
Alex,
total brainwashing, total brainwashing.
I would love for you to cover this because this is cookie season. I mean, they are at the height of their selling at this very moment. And if you would, let your listeners become enlightened on how deep they go into indoctrinating children.
No. Type in Girl Scouts trained to fight terrorists. And then you actually get the training. It's what are mommy and daddy doing? In fact, were you aware of this, James? It sounds crazy, but it's really happening.
I've heard something about the Girl Scouts and abortion. I haven't.
Tell him what they're doing, Susan.
It's beyond that. Just last month in December, the Girl Scouts, representing its 10 million members around the world, were at the Global Youth Forum in Bali. They actually were on the steering committee, and they came up with a statement asking for legalization of prostitution.
Oh, my God. That's breaking news. I want to do me a favor. Send that to showtips at Infowars.com.
Showtips? Okay.
Yeah, showtips. Yeah, and it's all about trafficking women. It's all about exterminating them once they have babies, aborting them. Just amazing. We'll look into that. Showtips at Infowars.com. James, thanks for all the time. We got 3 minutes in closing here in this segment. What else would you like to impart to everybody out there?
Well, I wanted to re-emphasize what I said before. I believe the way to change the world is through journalism. And the listener in California just said I actually did do a little. It's remarkable that it's a small world because I was out in California about 3 years ago giving a talk, and she's right. You produce a consequence that produces a reaction, and if you expose something that's so outrageous that forces people to react to you. And it's that reaction that gets into the news, and then whenever they, like in this case, when Toure reacted to our gun video, I'm sure the MSNBC people were saying, Toure, don't say anything. You're just going to give oxygen to his story. So we have proven that a citizen journalist can actually change laws, force politicians to act. And in the next year, we're going to triple our efforts. You can follow us at Project Veritas. That's Project Veritas.com. And if you want to get involved in one of these video projects, if you want to be a videographer, if you want to be trained to go undercover, contact our website, send us a tip, and we'll put you out in the field.
There you go, Info Warriors. The fight is now. The war is now. Whether it's We Are Change or Veritas, or you want to say you're an Info Warrior reporter just uploading to YouTube, then we can use clips on our show. It doesn't matter. Help out Veritas. Help out Info Wars. Get involved in We Are Change. We're all in this together. And it is so exciting to see, the powerful alternative media now really together. We overshadow the dinosaur media, and that's why they're panicking. With the DrudgeReport.com and WorldNet Daily and countless others. Very, very exciting. Hey, tell my producer here, James, as you leave, when is a good time for me, a couple of windows, to try to give you a call the next few days, okay?
Okay, we'll do.
All right, James, thank you so much. Very, very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, they're attacking us right now. Okay, so I'm not looking for any trouble, but they started the fight. I say we stop their butt in the info war.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.